don't know how I'm gonna do this. Huh?
Here's to the crazy one.
I'm Joe Jorgensen, and I approve this message.
Hey, unplug my charger.
What's up, everybody? How'd you like the intro?
Hey, what's happening?
Evolve's here, I promise. There he is.
What's up, guys? What is going on? What is that? No, I got quite the day today.
Yeah, man.
This is pre-show, the pre-show.
The pre-show. I got some stuff I need to cover.
Got some
I hope I don't get hiccups because I ate my dinner real fast. I haven't finished it yet.
I just waited. I'm not.
It's going to be cold, dude. This is going to be a long one.
It is.
You know, because I heard that Joe Biden wants to do bathroom breaks like every 15 minutes or so.
Hey, you're messing now. You're messing.
Otis was telling me that Biden wanted to schedule bathroom breaks.
Oh, okay. Probably true. It came from the Trump administration. Let me put this on.
I'm sure it did.
Do not disturb. So we can.
I'm sure it did, but hopefully I'll be able to get this to work right. I'm gonna do the best I can. So please be patient with me.
Yeah, I put it on Facebook everywhere, man.
Did you?
You can't.
I did. I put it on Facebook.
Oh, okay.
My Libertarian Dave is down. You know, why don't we cover that first while people are coming in? Well, because it's going to be a long one, so I don't want
Right.
to. Well, I know Joe is supposed to be live already, so I put notifications on though, and I ain't getting notified, so I'm thinking she might not be live yet.
Oh. Okay.
But I could have swore she said.
I thought Liz said she
Well,
was live.
my political advisor.
Okay.
She told me
Where's your
that.
camera. Where am I looking at?
Yes,
Oh, okay. I'm like,
my political advisor had advised me that it was 5:30, but apparently not. So
oh, okay.
I should be on her site though, right here, right?
There we go.
Yep, this is her. So let's just go to.
So what is
Her
Joe
front
going to
page.
be talking about? Is she reacting to it live as well?
I think so.
Sup Evolves, I put you all in the I put his link in the chat. So if you guys make sure are you gonna play? Are you putting the thing up? The debate, the video up?
Yeah.
Sharing the screen.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
gonna share it over here.
Yeah, so guys,
But man, you had an excellent idea, as if we could have put the video as the background, and then I could have Joe like off to the side.
That's what I was thinking.
We'd have Trump and Biden actually behind us, and then we could have the video of Joe.
It'd be pretty funny. It'd be pretty.
Yeah.
Funny. So
yeah, we could split the screen like this.
So guys,
and have Joe here and have Biden and Trump behind us here, but then you're cut off on that one. So.
In the link in the description, it's Libertarian Dave. I'm over on his little studio reacting to the live. Now he's got the green screen. Where you see the green screen is gonna, if you go over to his channel, you'll be able to see the video that we're reacting to the live debate. You won't be able to see it on here because I'm just on my phone, just so I can swindle you guys to go over there in case you guys just want to chat. Thank you guys for the likes.
6:30 Eastern was 2 hours ago.
So yeah, go to the channel. It's in the description. It's the first link. That way you'll be able to see the video and all that other good stuff. This is just a pre-show. If you're coming in, who you voting for? Why is that ringing? I have it on Do Not Disturb. Okay. So
must have been important.
All right. I see in your chat you're a Trumpster.
You have a political advisor? Yeah, you're my political advisor.
Hey, Ghostly came over. What's up,
Matu?
Ghostly?
You need to get back on your Matu account.
You do.
Because they saying you a fraud now. Matu's a fraud. You need to get back on there so they know you're not a fraud.
That's funny. That's funny. So why did your political page
send me a picture?
Down?
Send me a picture of what you want me to put on the background, and I will do it. I don't care what it is.
Oh.
You send me a background, and I will post it. Because
hey,
that's the kind of love I have for you, babe.
I want to hear from you. Give me a thumbs up. I want to see who's here. TV, I see you're here.
So my Facebook ban, it went kind of crazy, and it actually got sent to the chair of the Libertarian Party national chair. Got a copy of that screenshot I did of my Facebook getting
right,
because apparently Facebook is blocking and banning libertarians.
Is it
like a lot of us?
Yeah.
Campaign sites. They completely deleted like a bunch of the gifts that we made for Joe Jorgensen.
Are they just,
like her memes and gifts? They wiped them off.
No, are they just doing it to libertarians? It's just political in general.
No,
or is it Democrats and Republicans?
Nope. Even because we know Facebook is supposedly liberal,
but
even like Trump stuff, all the Trump stuff is still up there.
It's still up.
Trump or the Republicans and Democrats, all their stuff is still there. But
did you say something like, "Hey,
I didn't. We're gonna go
Trump.
That. We're gonna do Trump." No, man, I don't. You know, I guarantee you, my Facebook page is cleaner than most. So we're gonna go through it right now. I'm gonna show you.
Well, they cracked down on me for saying your son is
fat. Yeah.
Fat. I said fat.
Yeah.
So I said fat.
You said. I guess the word "fat" is a trigger now.
It's a trigger. I hope Biden.
Josh looks fat.
I hope Biden brings.
And you know what Josh said? Josh said, "You're right."
You're right. I remember his name. Oh, y'all gonna be having Biden jokes all night, aren't y'all?
Oh no.
They're talking about sleepy
Equal
Biden
opportunity. Okay, okay, here we go.
Can they see this on the screen?
No, I'm going to show it right now. So this is my blocked Facebook page. All right.
Go to the link in the description so you can see it up on the green screen. I'm on his channel today, so if you just join me, I'm just here so I can talk to you all. But go
now we'll leave it like this. Can y'all see that good, or should I flip? See, I can't see you. They can't see you now.
I can't. There's no other position
like
you can. See, that's why you got to support StreamYard so you can get a bunch of other templates and all their little categories. You can see all types of stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
You know this?
I do. I looked on to StreamYard. I wanted to see the advantages.
I get rid of the.
Yeah, you get rid of all the watermarks.
I can actually put my own watermark.
And they have like a row. They have tons of.
I can put my own watermark up there.
Yeah, you should support them.
Man, I mean, maybe
I support.
People should start supporting me. Maybe you should start supporting me.
I support Power Direct.
Cash App
Well, they
monthly
don't-
donation.
There you go. You should do the Cash App Thursdays or whatnot, where you should do a little Cash App video. Tell them supporting the community. People are starting to like that because it gives them opportunity to give and whatnot. We extend an opportunity.
I don't know what that is. But.
Oh, it's when I do it Cash App Thursday. I just make a video. Hey, everyone, put your Cash App in the description. And it's mandated that you give to someone in the comment section at random. And you can't give no type of story. Just put your Cash App. You can't say, "Oh, I need this."
So somebody just picks a cash.
Yeah,
App.
everybody in the comments. They just pick someone at random and just give.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I do. I've been doing it for like the last 4 weeks. So, and it's catching on. I got
Why
a
your
lot.
Cash App is so big?
Got a lot of gift. No one's cash apping me, though. But this is good. But they're cash apping the people in the comments.
Oh, Matsu's back. There she is. That's
Look
what
at
I'm
that.
talking about. Picture
They're
up there
cash
and
apping
everything,
in the
man.
comments. So I like that. Like a lot of people in the comments are like, "Wow, I'm getting stuff. Thank you." I was like, "That's great. People are doing it." Just random people.
Cool.
It's cool.
Anyways, so here's my Facebook page, Libertarian Dave. This is so yeah.
Let me see.
I'm down 74%, probably because of this page has been unpublished. So if you click see details,
Okay.
it tells you nothing. Well, it actually will tell you something, but it doesn't tell you the answer. It's loading. Why is it taking so long to load? I hate this new Facebook, man.
Yeah, it's.
Oh, okay. Well, it's not going to tell you nothing. See details doesn't do anything.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so anyways, let's look at what I have here. The last video I did was, Kid President, G Liberty on healthcare. This is the last one.
Let me see what
Takes you right here.
Gotta go to his channel to see it. Link is in the description. It's on the green screen. Let me see what he said. Maybe he said something that wasn't.
I just got done riding my bike and I crashed. Three neighbors come out of the house. The third neighbor had an MRI machine. I was thinking, how nice is it to have choices? Now my limit is.
Uh-oh.
Wi-Fi issues.
We buffering, really?
No.
I don't get that big bandwidth from YouTube.
There you go.
Why am I buffering?
Yeah, just go over there so you can see the video. Its link is in the description. I feel I'm gonna have to be saying this all night.
Okay.
Once you get over there, hey, you know what? That's what I'm gonna do.
Well, I went on the bag. So if it was someone else's money, you bet I'll get an MRI. I wonder that it can suck out a Hot Wheel out of your pocket. The point is, it's your money. It's your health. It should be your choice. Freedom, choice, liberty. Don't you liberty. Take control of your health. Before you kill yourself.
That was a good one. There you go. That wasn't too bad. Not bad.
Yeah, the sound was just kind of bad on that one, but anyway, so that's the last one. Then we have I shared Christy Mowry for Congress. That's
Okay.
just the share. I shared hers. I'm sure she didn't get blocked. I don't know.
Right.
Well, maybe she did, but she's pretty outspoken. But this was just her talking on the steps. It's a really good video too.
Okay.
And then our canceled by COVID video, shared that one. My Let Her Speak campaign back in August, and so
Yeah, that's
I don't know. I got Martin Luther King in here. And
just weird it didn't say why.
nope, no reason. I mean, this is it. I mean, this would be anything. This is the video that you did. It's probably the most controversial video.
Yeah, that's the most controversial.
Yeah, where
For not only peacefully protesting,
It's a
which
good
was
video. Came out
protected
well.
by the
It didn't
First
do
Amendment,
much.
but
We just sitting in the car getting you talking.
Yeah.
Gathering people together under a flag of liberty shows a united front, and it gets attention to the cause of liberty.
So pro.
So when you refer to limiting people's rights for the sake of safety, yes, if you're preventing harm to somebody else. So in the sense of a quarantine, yeah, it's okay to quarantine, but the only people that you quarantine are sick people. You don't quarantine healthy
Go to
people.
Libertarian Dave. You'll see what we're playing up on the green screen. It's on his channel. The link is in the description. That way you won't be able to see what we're reacting to.
So I don't need to be quarantined.
For this one here, man, this one would be more likely.
My child.
I remember that minute. This is funny.
You know what I mean?
I remember that.
And every tree that has fruit with seed in it, it will be yours for food.
When my breath is really bad, or when I want to flavor my tea. Thank you, Lord, for the mint. Thank you so much. And Lord, when I need to flavor my chicken or my fish, you give me the rosemary plant. Thank you so much, Lord. Thank you. And Lord, when I'm feeling anxiety or when I'm having trouble sleeping, you give me the...
I'm on it. Turn around.
What I give them authority over all lands of the earth.
Worry about things above. We got this down here. Okay.
This has been another Libertarian Minute.
You did the little. That's funny. I remember that.
Anyways, yeah,
That's good stuff.
there's some good videos right there. I wonder who edited those. But anyways, that's the stuff that's on my page. It's not much. I mean,
That's
I
weird.
hardly even posted that much,
That is weird.
and I got blocked, man.
Yeah, I'm published. Interesting.
This is because Libertarian Dave goes against our community standards. You or another admin disagree with this decision. Because I did. I disagree with it.
Someone said hi.
Hey, what's up? You're gonna have to give me a translation.
There you go. So in the chat on both channels, who is everyone voting for? Okay, so there are three things that people don't talk about that it's supposed to be a big thing. People hate talking about the age. You're not supposed to talk about how much you weigh, and you're not supposed to talk about
why? I don't understand.
You're not supposed to talk about
you saw my message.
who you post your
you
political.
saw what I posted on
I didn't.
Elliot, because Elliot was saying that
Those are three. I was talking about it today.
Elliot was saying because Elliot Sherman, he's running for Congress. He's running for congressional district. He's running for U.S. Congress against Dan Crenshaw. Dan Crenshaw. It's like a San Antonio area, I think.
Okay.
Elliot Sherman, really good candidate. Way better than that wannabe Republican he's running against, who currently holds the seat.
Okay.
But anyways, he was like, okay, we have 221 elections in the state of Texas.
Right.
We have, what was it? He said like 100 and something libertarians running for office. So that leaves 100 and something seats that don't have a libertarian on the ticket.
Okay.
In the state, right? In the state of Texas. So he's like, he wants to get together and have some libertarians get together and talk about the candidates and the races that don't have libertarians running. So I was like, yeah, I'd be happy to. I'd be happy to share because I have no qualms about telling you who I'm voting for.
Right.
It's pretty simple though. I vote for the person who stands for liberty.
Okay.
More than anything else. I mean, I don't really care. You could be my best friend. If the other guy is standing for liberty more than you, I'm not going to vote for you. So and I have no qualms about telling you who I'm going to vote for. Now, I'll tell you straight out, and if I don't know yet, then that's because I haven't researched that particular race. But I can tell you right off the bat, it's Kerry McKinnon for the Texas State Senate. He's running against John Cornyn and MJ Hager is the Democrat. And of course, Joe Jorgensen for president, and any other libertarian up and down the ticket.
Why do you think that people? Why do you think people are so fearful of? Is it fear that people of retaliation? Hey, if I find out that you're voting for Joe Biden or Joe Biden or you vote for Trump, why don't?
I guess there is going to be a lot of Joe Biden jokes.
Right? Why do people? I want to know in both chats. Why are people? What is that fear of saying who you're going to vote for? Why is it so secret? I mean, we have these polls and we have the booths and whatnot. Even everything.
Did
And
you say boots? Like rummage?
no, booths.
Booth.
You know, when you go in, even when you do vote, you know, it's this big secret, not letting anyone know. And then, you know, out in public, is it a fear of people may judge you based on the candidate you do, and people don't want to be judged? Or me myself, I don't care. It always, like I said, age and
So,
all those things.
Joe Jorgensen.
My two says she's voting for Joe Jorgensen. Who else is
So
there
I don't
for
know. I
that?
think it's because politics has become so divisive because of media and these old two parties that it's just created this massive division where now people are afraid because, you know, it's like we're friends, but if we
Right.
start talking politics, we're going to become enemies because we have to take sides.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But if a Cowboy fan and an Eagles fan can get along,
Right.
I mean, anybody can get along.
Yeah. I truly hate the Eagles.
I truly hate the Cowboys.
Right. So yeah. I guess that's interesting. That's interesting.
So I think that's what it is. You know, it's actually become worse than team sports. You know what I mean? It's worse.
That's true. It has.
And it's not even a team sport.
It's not.
You know, I don't know, because Michigan Ohio State that rivalry gets pretty ugly.
I'm expecting. So I want to put up a counter. I'm expecting that we're gonna hear Sleepy Joe at least 3 times. Trump is gonna say Sleepy Joe.
Can we do that in here?
Trump is gonna.
I got banners. We could do banners. We could do Sleepy Joe banner, like
Yeah,
Sleepy Joe.
What are
Every
we
time-
gonna hear tonight, people? This is a pre-show, so we
so
gotta
then
get
every
ready.
time he says it, we just
Add it.
boom, Sleepy Joe.
So go ahead, put your /0 right now.
Oh man, that's gonna be hard to keep up. How about if we don't scroll it?
So I can't believe Biden is even going to make it out of his basement. Oh, y'all gonna do this? Yeah, I think. Okay, so you think Biden is gonna?
Okay, we got it. Well, what is Biden gonna? What's Biden?
I know-
Be,
Okay, so Trump is gonna say Sleepy Joe quite a bit. Biden is going to. We'll hear. He's gonna have The Rock carry him. Stop it, guys. We're serious. Biden.
Who did do that? I lost some respect for The Rock.
Biden is gonna he's gonna be catering to. I think you're gonna feel a lot of catering and pandering to Black America, Black community. That's what we're gonna hear, Black America from him. We're gonna hear that come out of his mouth, and quite a bit. Black America, Black community. That will with a lot of pandering.
Do you think so? Pandering to minorities or just black? You want just straight Black pander? We'll call it black.
That's good.
Oh, it's kind of a tribute, right?
Right.
Kind of a
Hey.
tribute to Black Panther who passed away.
There we
recently.
go. Black
That's
Panther.
sad, man. That guy was
Black.
That was my favorite.
That's good.
Marvel
I don't
movies
think
ever.
Evolve like bringing The Rock up. Anyway, Black pandering. That's good. So we gotta listen really carefully. Check this out.
All right, we got the banners added. We got to just add a ticker to them now. So there it is.
Okay, traveling man is on.
That's
the
not
phone.
me.
What does that mean?
That's not me.
Okay,
that's just
that was
the-
your
the
banner.
ticker I added
Okay,
on there. Yeah.
so
Boom, the Evolve. These are just old ones.
how many times? I want you guys to guess right now in both chats. Go ahead, put it in the chat. We're gonna see who's gonna be right. How many times is Trump gonna say Sleepy Joe? Sleepy Joe.
Oh, we got comments. Oh, Matu.
How many?
Send you back. What do you think of The Rock publicly endorsing a political party or candidate? I don't think it was a very smart move from a man who's made a lot of smart moves to get where he's at right now.
See, but why? Why can't? That's what I was just talking about. Why can't people talk about their stuff?
You can talk about your stuff, but to just flat out endorse a candidate like that, I don't know. He's a political figure. I mean, he's a public figure. So
I mean, you're flat out endorsing Joe Jorgensen.
oh, absolutely. I don't have thousands and thousands of fans that don't know. Any fans that I have is because I'm a libertarian.
Okay.
So I would lose fans if I didn't. If I got on here and said go Trump, then
I'm trying to
you
find
all
out
better not have recorded that either.
why nobody wants to. I don't see why he couldn't. He got his fans, and it's because he got
Jorgensen's like,
it's because he got a wide base, and people are like, "Oh, that's no fair." Now all his people are over there. I mean, no, it's all right if they want to. He can.
did you say The Rock's got a wide base?
A wide base, a wide fan base.
Oh, weird.
I didn't see anything wrong with it. I think that everyone should.
Is she live on? Where's she live?
I believe everyone should. Voice. Nobody cares what The Rock thinks about politics. If you want to know
Is she live on
best
Facebook?
protein shakes, then ask The Rock.
Oh, Jesus.
If you want a good protein shake. Yeah, I'm okay.
Oh, we got POTUS debate bingo from the Libertarian Party of Texas.
Wow.
Here we go. We got candidate blames opponent for something they are guilty of. That's all of them. The whole bingo thing.
Oh, that's funny. That's pretty funny. See, we should came up with a bingo board.
Here you go.
If you just just coming in,
the whole bingo board is candidate blames opponent for something they are also guilty of.
That's good. That's pretty
That's true though. Oh man!
If you
he's
are-
gonna take away your guns. Oh, like you banned bump stocks, right? He's gonna raise taxes. Oh,
We're
like-
on the green screen. You can't see it if you're right here. I've got his in the chat. So go ahead over to Libertarian Dave. That way you can see what we're posting, what we're reacting. Link is in the description. Go ahead over there.
YouTube.com/Libertarian Dave. All
There you
one word.
Oh, you can do that. There you go.
Okay. Oh, she's.
Matsu said it's not her yet. It's just other stuff.
Well, that's cool. I want to watch it though. Is it on Facebook or is it on? Sure, both Facebook and YouTube. Why don't you post a link? Post a link in chat. I am. That's what you want me to put as the background?
Who's gonna who are we looking to? Who do you think is gonna win this debate? I'm gonna get some
You want me to post this
stuff
as the
going
background?
on. What's up, Kevin? Thanks for coming over.
What up, Kevin?
Guys, so this is the pre-show. I want to know. We're talking. What are you guys expecting? Who is going to win this debate? What are you guys expecting? Huh?
And how do we judge a winner?
Now you're judging the winner. How do they judge it? Will Joe Biden be left speechless, or will Donald Trump come out victorious? Will Biden expose Trump, or what are we expecting to see? Will Trump walk and chase Biden around the stage like he did with Hillary? You know how he was walking up on her, that little meme? He was walking behind her. It was pretty funny.
You want me to post the?
Someone said, "Who's winning? Not us." That's pretty funny. Biden will trip all over all his words. Hey, Missy Wade, you guys are coming over. Matsu thinks the orange guy is gonna win. Yeah, so
It all depends on what you consider a win.
victory.
That's what I'm saying. What do we consider a victory?
So the biggest tops, and I think Trump, the biggest thing that Trump is going to.
This is what Matsu said to put as the background.
No. So
this is what you wanted as the background, right? There's no winner. Trump will spout tired rally talking points. Biden has been too ineffectual for the last 47 years. He's got no ground to stand on.
So Jonathan, you're voting for Trump. That's what we're trying to get this pre-show. We're talking. We want to get to know the audience.
We're just talking.
So Jonathan, you're saying you're going for Trump? It sounds like winner should be based on most clear, concise answers. Okay.
Well, that's going to be me in the Evolve. We're going to win. We're going to give you the most clear and concise answers.
There you go.
That's for sure.
Sleepy Joe is gonna fall asleep.
There's the first Sleepy Joe. Oh, we don't count.
They don't count that.
Missy
Hey.
Wade, how's it going? Welcome. Kevin, welcome.
Hey, Patty. Patty says she's voting for Trump. Can we start with Trump supporters and go with Joe Biden supporters?
How about Joe Jorgensen supporters? Do we have any of those in here?
Wait, do anyone know?
You know what? I need to get so where are we going to watch? Hey, that's the first question. Where are we going to watch it? Are we going to watch it from Trump Fox News, or are we going to watch it from CN Democrat and
We'll see.
So where do you what do you think? CBS, NBC, ABC, C-SPAN. Let's watch C-SPAN.
C-SPAN.
C-SPAN's supposed to be unfiltered, right?
Whichever one you want to watch it, whichever one has the chat. Because some of them close chat. If they don't know about chat,
no, they're not going to have chat. I don't think
they are.
C-SPAN's not going to have chat. Why do we want chat?
I sometimes like what people are saying. It's always fun. Look, we got 63,000.
Chat is disabled for this live stream.
Yeah, some has chat.
Yeah, but I mean, why? It's going to go too fast, and it's just going to be a bunch of.
It's all right because this is
the chat is us.
I know, and this is what we're here. We're here to what they're saying in the chat, what they're saying in the chat, with the people watching. We're interaction. We're reacting. It's reacting.
Too much.
It's reacting
Too much.
to it.
Thank you, Judith. That's what I'm talking about. That one's going to stay up there for a while. You get the gold star. Thank you, Judith. Thank you. Joe loves you too.
So
loves you enough to set you free. There it is. Joe Jorgensen's live now. Boom. Can I go?
We do. The green screen.
Bethany.
To see the people up on the you have to go to his channel, guys, to see the videos and the stuff that we're displaying. He's got stuff. His channel is Libertarian Dave. It's in the description. Go ahead over there so that you won't miss the videos and stuff that we are uploading. I'm just on my phone just to talk to you all. So this green screen, if you go to his channel and watch this live stream at his channel, go ahead over there right now. Okay. That is that. Love Joe. Vote gold. Who do we hand raise for those that believe that Biden is winning? Who thinks Biden's gonna win? Who thinks Biden is gonna surprise this debate? Yes? Any Trumps out there? Most of you guys are just here for the show. Why you don't put it up too good on your channel? I don't. Because I'm not actually. I'm not a political channel.
I should put this on YouTube, right?
So why I don't put it up on my?
Should we put it here?
With you, I don't like what you're doing. I'm going to vote Joe Jorgensen. At least you're sending a message to them that you don't like. But
Nah, because I'm gonna keep getting this popping up.
Overall broad message,
Hey, Florence, you're voting for Biden?
Americans out there across the
Okay. And Kevin
Got Biden thumbs
Trump.
down, huh?
Okay.
PBS on YouTube will cover the debate. PBS. Yes, we're gonna do PBS. No comment. Huh?
He said Trump is gonna win all the way. Patty's gonna win. Patty says Trump is gonna win. He's practically senile. Y'all gonna make these. I think Biden is gonna surprise everyone tonight.
You think so?
I think Biden is gonna surprise everyone. I think he's coming to war and fighting. I'm predicting a Biden win tonight. I don't even care.
It's pretty consistent.
Because I don't vote for either one of them, but it's going to be interesting.
I'm just getting stuff ready, so that's why let Evolve hold the fort now.
Who do you want to win? Who do I want to win? I don't care.
He just loves talking about it.
That's it. I just find it entertaining, and I feel like it's going to be a mess, and there's going to be so many memes out of this, so many things I'm going to catch and whatnot. I think it's going to be a dumpster fire, and I can't wait for Trump to just be so unpresidential and just say stuff. Now, for those Trump supporters that are out there in the chat, when I say be unpresidential, I mean he don't mind just like he'll just say things.
Yeah, I don't see her live on
and it's funny and it's entertaining to me, and it hits people, and it's not what people are used to in the norm. And but me as an independent, it doesn't matter who win. I'm here for the show. I'm here to see if there's anything new that's gonna come out, or and stuff that we can kind of
Are you going to vote?
talk about. We'll see. I don't even know. I have not came to that conclusion yet. He's better shot.
You don't even know if you're going to vote.
Nope. Not even yet.
Wow.
I know that I want to. That's the key. I want to. Trump needs some cardio. Okay.
Let's get gangsta. He gets gangsta. Oh, he gets gangsta. I thought, let's get gangsta. I'm like, yeah, let's get gangsta.
Wouldn't it be funny?
Can I shut Messenger off
What if
so it stops interrupting me?
they have a special guest and Kanye come out?
Okay. Wait, we got YouTube watch.
Kanye start debating. What if they brought Kanye but not Joe? How about that?
Oh, is this the background you wanted me to put? Okay, maybe this is the background you wanted me to put.
That's the one I use in the thumbnail.
Is it? I don't know what this blank spot is in the middle, but so what is this? Is this the PBS one?
I'm wondering who is going to be more funny. I think that's it. That's
though.
it.
That's what a lot of people are
Trump's
saying.
comments or Biden's.
What's going to be funny?
Yes, that's what I'm saying here, because I know it's going to be a mess and I'm going to find so much. You know, I'm going to be like, what just happened? Oh my! I know I'm going to have a lot of. Oh my goodness! I can't believe Trump just said Biden. What did you just? What?
How do I get a Messenger to stop interrupting me?
You can mute it, I imagine. Yeah, you can put it on mute. You just turn off your active status. If voting actually changed anything, they would make it illegal, but it's fun to watch. Interesting comment. Kanye versus Biden. That's funny.
Okay.
That
worked.
That's good. No, Ghostly, I'm with you on that. The big thing is to see who can remain on topic. Yeah, I think there's going to be definitely a lot of jumping in and out of topics and whatnot. And everyone's.
What if there's going to be?
He did that.
You think Trump's going to do that?
He's not going to do that. I think he is going to follow him around. Why didn't she get herself arrested in protests?
Because it didn't work for the Green Party candidate last election cycle.
Go to his channel in the link in the description. That way you won't see the screen screen. You'll see the videos and whatnot. Link is in the description of his podcast.
Okay. Let's see. Here we go. So I'm going to. Is there comments on this? There's comments on this, but we're not going to be able to see them. How can I see them? I hate new Facebook.
Live comments, you don't understand the interaction that you get through live comments.
So you would not have a mask mandate then, I assume.
Okay, there we go. Now we're working. Yeah, we got live comments right here. Watching Joe's.
There's kind of this feeling, this underlying assumption.
Exactly, that's what we want. That's what we're saying.
Doesn't do it, it doesn't get done. And Walmart proved them wrong. Walmart came along and said, we don't care what the laws are, we're not going to ask you to, or we are going to ask you to wear a mask. Anybody who sets foot in our
John
store, I
Davis
don't care if
mentioned
it's
you in the
employee or
comment.
a customer or
Ooh.
vendor,
I'm
we're
just
going to wear a
looking.
mask. And then several stores followed.
So should we go back and forth then? Watch CNN for a little while and then watch Fox News for a little while?
Probably not. I don't. We don't need that. We can say if anything.
Well, I mean, because you're going to get biased. If anywhere that you're not going to get biased, you're not going to get comments. C-SPAN or PBS.
And then pass a law.
Yeah.
And then we all live under that law for the next 2 years, 4 years.
Speaking of arrests,
How is Hillary not running around free? That's a good question, but I would watch yourself.
Hillary.
Watch yourself on my channel with that, okay? Because they're kind of scary. I don't want to get Epsteined, okay? That's all I'm going to say.
Yes, me. Canada should turn around and tell the USA we cut.
Hey, Florence, how's it going?
Trump's way.
You're going to watch PBS? You're gonna watch the real PBS and not the debates on PBS.
What is going to be the hardest question?
You're gonna should be able to go watch PBS.
No.
Has, to be allowed to operate their business without a mask. So then you every day get to vote. Do I want to live in a society with masks or one without masks?
Hardest question they'll be asked tonight is about immigration.
Yeah, we could do banners like that for people to ask a question. Let's do it. You got something you want to ask the audience?
There we go.
Let's ask the audience.
Pre-show people.
What do we want? What do we want to ask them? Let's see.
But my question is, do you know where that?
The handshake. Let's start with that, right?
The handshake.
Do you think what's going to be significant?
Wait, do
about
they
the
come
handshake?
out? Is it traditional with these debates? It's not like a WWF where everybody come out with their music, their own music. I think they come out with their own music.
I don't think so.
Send them back to us, but
No?
by the way,
Getting
we're
carried
gonna
away.
keep some of that money aside.
You're getting carried away.
Corporations, the airlines, and other people. And again, I say, let the people decide who should stay in business and who shouldn't. Personally, I would rather keep the money and then I would have spent.
All right, so
Hey,
Let's
I heard
first
I heard
start.
she's talking about masks, right? Speaking of masks, I talked to a soldier right now. We were
Okay.
getting dinner at Chase the Taste. Chase the Taste here in El Paso is awesome. But anyway, so the soldier comes in. He's wearing his mask. And I asked him, I'm like, hey, do they make you wear the mask at PT? Physical training in the
Right.
morning? And he's like, no, I don't wear the mask during PT. I was like, but you got to wear it the rest of the day, right? He's like, yeah. I was like, so y'all getting all sweaty and spitting all over each other during PT don't matter. Nobody's gonna get sick. But the whole rest of the day, we gotta be careful.
Yeah, it's weird, man. Music entrance. Well, we know Trump is coming out to.
How about we get to keep the money and we get to vote again, vote with our dollars. We get to decide.
So are they all just?
How about
They're
this?
all gonna be wearing a black suit.
How about
red
this?
tie.
Well, red tie, blue tie. Yeah, red tie for Trump, blue tie for Biden. We can't hear you. How about this? How about this question? I mean, I forget what it was.
She gives some giveaways if people get some.
What will be the most controversial question asked?
The minimum wage.
Who's sponsoring this debate?
affects
So
those,
I can know who they're going to beat up on.
people who are
Because if CNN's sponsoring it, then it's going to be Trump's going to get pounded.
Yeah. It's good. You definitely should know who's sponsoring it. Yeah.
Minimum wage
Mm,
jobs
Fox.
are a way to get your foot in the door. And by the way, when I was in
Good
high
stuff.
school, I had a minimum
Yeah,
wage
that's
job
actually a good
myself, and I was
question.
thrilled to get it. And it
I should give a
taught me
giveaway if
how to
someone gets
do
something
things,
extremely
how to,
right.
arrive
right.
on time, get a paycheck, and do what I'm told.
Check this out.
And I quickly moved on.
Hmm.
And if you look at the statistics, you'll see that people who are on a minimum wage job level are not there for long. They move
We're
up
here.
very quickly.
We are here,
So the
man.
question
Asking the
really
questions.
is,
Oh, see, I put it up where you're blocked off again.
What questions should we be asking? Should we be asking Joe Biden and Donald Trump? We are in the seats. We're here. Guys, go to this channel. We are live in studio. So what questions you want us to ask Biden and Trump? All right. What are the questions? That's why we need chat, because we're going to send our questions into chat too. I go. See, then my people are going to be out. It's going to be on.
This is the best way to do it if it's going to show us and then show that.
All right. We're still arranging stuff, people.
Amateurs. Like we ain't been doing this for like
Well, and you know what? You have to really
a long time.
That works.
about,
We're in studio.
You know, people might be trying to listen to Joe talk.
They're not. Okay. They're here for the pre-show, man.
This is the pre-show.
By the way, I mean, libertarians are great all over the country. However,
Thank you, Joe.
You ever visit?
And we went to this great restaurant, great food, and it was probably, and I'm not gonna name the restaurant, but it was probably the worst service I've seen, and I was like, oh, this is really unusual. I've never been to a place like this, where, there were 3 of us in the group, and 2 of us had completely finished eating before the 3rd person even got his food. And we had to go to an event, So we had to leave before he even got his food. So then, of course, we have to arrange cars,
Censoring myself.
transportation, and all that. What I
So
found
myself,
out later,
censoring
what had
myself.
happened was that the government paycheck
Blurry
started,
today.
and that a lot of those people were being paid more to stay home than go to work. And out of something like 25 employees,
That's true.
only 3 people.
That unemployment was nice, man. I know a lot of people that, you know, a lot of people that like, nah, man, I can't afford to come back to work for you. Unemployment's paid.
Can't afford to come back to work. Speaking of that, they yeah.
Oh, I missed some comments. Sorry, people. Question about Kenons came up. Kenons, what is that?
And then the government.
Obamagate spying.
Perverse consequences. They give.
We're gonna put
It's the Obamagate.
Obama or a question about Obamagate spying. I don't think that's coming up. PBS should do the debates, but make Sesame Street characters that look like them.
You don't think
use
Trump
the
is going to bring up
Muppets over their voices.
Obamagate because he had said that Biden was a part of that, the whole campaign? You don't think he'll bring that up? I think that's a good point. I think he might try to fit that in. I think he might try to fit that in. Oh, he wants you to say that.
Say Bazzino.
Yeah.
Bazzino.
Oh.
Ask you to say Bazzino.
Oh. That's weird. Good question.
You like Bazzino,
huh?
Yeah.
Well, he was one of ones.
He'll go boxing.
Go
Right?
boxing.
I bet you he'll box you now.
I think so.
You bum legger.
Yeah, I'm messed up, man. This is not the time.
I'll box you now.
I gave over. I gave over it. I was sitting outside his door just waiting. I was like, this is the one day you're gonna not be here, have me wait like 10 minutes.
What's going on?
I was literally just sitting on your step, sitting down. I was like, I'm not gonna keep standing up. It's pretty funny.
So much this is why we should expect minimum wage to be a livable wage. Otherwise, make it illegal to hire anyone who has had a job before into an entry-level minimum wage position.
Comments help you interact when your people ain't interacting. Go to the channel there, guys. Green screen. You won't get the green screen. You'll get the video up. Libertarian Dave in the comments. You have to go over there, so you don't want to see the green screen. You'll see the picture and the stuff that we're reacting to, and what.
Why don't they do backgrounds on these things? Like Joe's video.
No, Joe. This is what I'm saying. She knows. They know. They know. Don't put a background. Just white. That's what I would. I told you no background.
In order to get the economy going, we need.
It's more serious type deal. Serious type of.
And again, if here's
Someone
a
coughing?
question that
That's serious.
Let's say that you've got 10,000. Let's say you've got an inheritance, 10,000.
Look ghetto, man.
And maybe you want to help people.
You got your
maybe you want to help your friends start a new business. Loan them the money to start a new business.
I wasn't talking about background.
Oh, we said no background.
I wasn't talking about background. The people are coming over for your background, for your stuff. They got that from people. I wasn't talking about you. I'm talking about these guys when you're doing videos and whatnot.
Ridiculous, man. Ridiculous.
Oh, shoot. So, oh, man.
Whoa, almost fell on me. Oh, man. We just getting started.
Who's hosting this? I want to know who's hosting.
Who's hosting the debate?
Yeah. Who's hosting this? Let's start there. I think we should start there and then let's work our way to questions. Let's see if Fox or who's the commentator. Let's see who's doing this.
But you know what? Even I would rather give my money to Bill Gates. Even he would do a much better job than the federal government at anything.
Yeah, I'm more than fine with the federal government whenever they have the money. It's so much.
How's everyone been?
They're trying to do good work, but too much of it goes to the blood. So yeah, people know how to spend the money, whether it's for charity or not, I think.
And you mentioned bloat. It's funny you said that. So professors tend to be a little liberal. And when I went back and got my PhD in industrial organizational psychology.
We need to Google it, I guess.
Why didn't they?
You got quality sound on your channel.
Look at that. Check that out.
Oh, that means a lot to me. That means a lot to me.
That's a swipe at me. See, now I'm going to go get the mic.
That means a lot to me. Because
they swiping at me. That's a swipe at me.
I tell you, because
if you.
That's a good idea. I can plug his mic.
Why didn't they let Joe Rogan
Host it.
sound like that? I appreciate that because sound is a big deal for me. I like
You know, you
this
know.
picture's cool too. Is that your kid? Ghostly one?
Let me get that one.
I think what you said about, the president doesn't create jobs is obviously very true and important. One of the few things, that I thought that Obama did well in this regard was push the occupational licensing reform thing, which, there's not a lot of federal occupational licensing, but he at least made nods towards that. Do you think that that's an area that's good for, the federal government to get involved in, at least helping, or would you be, I guess, what would you do with regards to occupational licensing?
Oh, it is. It absolutely is. Now, you're correct. It's not a federal issue. If I were running for a local office or for state office, absolutely, that would probably be one of the top things on my list. Because, we just had the guest here ask about minimum.
All right, so
wage.
Chris Wallace
What if
is the
you could
moderator.
start a business in your home? What if you could start, braiding hair or cutting hair?
He's
or-
from
or
Fox.
whatever? What if you could start a business
Oh man.
without going through all the corporate, or, the lawyers to get incorporated, without going through all the licensing? And, oh, by the way, if you want to cut somebody's hair, here's
Oh,
what
that's
to do.
you with the mask in Walmart.
Hair braiding, which I'm happy to-
Oh man, his phone is garbage. Y'all need to come on over. YouTube.com/Libertarian Dave, all one word. I would type it in, but I'll see if I can make my. Oh, he's bringing a mic. He's bringing a mic. Still gonna be bad though. And all you're seeing is me and you're seeing ugly and uglier and a green screen. It's like we got all this stuff going on here. I got Joe Jorgensen up, man. We about to put the debates up.
Yeah, go
On the
ahead.
same screen. Fox. The moderator is from Fox
I
News.
knew it. I knew it.
So now you've got somebody who's poor, disadvantaged, who's concerned about making a minimum wage. And what they have to do is they have to spend thousands.
Does anyone think the COVID stuff will die down after the election?
I've been saying that since July.
Scott says, yeah, it's going to all of a sudden COVID's gone after the
I
election.
exactly
Agree,
said
man.
that.
So, yes, anything at the federal level, that should be
I've been
pretty
saying
easy
that
to
forever.
do. But again, that's mostly state and
Okay.
local governments and.
I don't know. I know a lot's going to change right after the election. The whole media is going to shift.
Yep.
So, Joe's talking, but they had the camera on the interviewer for like the longest time.
Rookies. Rookies.
So that's what I'm going to do, man. I'm going to come over here.
Okay.
If you haven't done so already, I know you guys are driggling in.
We're listening to, we're talking, we're being very rude, talking over Joe Jorgensen. Joe Jorgensen's being interviewed right now. So I'm listening to that.
Until they
I got the Evolve is live here. Same thumbnail and everything.
I want to hear how my quality is.
All
right, I have to wait till after your ad because you big time.
I get ads. I want $100 on that sucker.
All right, you gotta have to say test 1, 2, 3 and then be
Testing
quiet.
1, 2, Robert. Testing 1, 2, Robert's in the building. Testing. Checking out my mics in if it's too loud or whatnot.
Checking out the mics in if it's
Whoa. See that? And it's working. Exactly. Oh, there you go. There you go. Hey, so Libertarian Dave, he is I'm at his channel. He's gonna post up in the chat right now his channel. So go over to his channel. You won't see the green screen. You're gonna see the videos and the pictures that we put up. A link is in the description. I just got the green screen because I'm in his studio. All right, so Libertarian Dave, go.
I hope I spelled it right.
Hey.
Oh, you put the link in the description?
I did. It's right
Oh,
there.
it's right there.
It's the first at the top. I'm on Libertarian Dave reacting. Watch the stream for better experience.
Boom, there it is.
Oh, shoot. Dang it. I thought I linked straight to the video. Went to your.
No, you did.
Nice.
Just straight to the page. I mean, this is what's on top
It's
of
at
the
the
page
top.
right now.
Oh, there.
I'll go back, Vog. We can go back there for it.
I'll go back. It's just green.
And it's working. Oh yeah, he got his sound fixed at least.
Sounds
So
always
for the-
been like this. I don't know why y'all hate.
I don't get it.
It's always been.
Flu been around since before COVID, and Big Pharma decided to rebrand it.
Are they gonna talk about the? That's what they're gonna talk about. They're gonna talk about the COVID response.
You think so? Oh, yeah, he'll probably beat up Trump about his COVID response.
That's where he's gonna have his strong point.
Lives.
That's Biden's. That's what they're gonna do. It's gonna be the COVID response and how everything. That's Biden's.
I think.
strong point.
I mean, how can you? So the whole thing that they talked about at the beginning of Corona season, remember, because we became the Corona channel for a while, because that's all we were talking about was Corona. We had stock. We were in a bunker with stockpiles of toilet paper and talking about Corona. That was this channel.
That was this channel. It was.
So, but the big thing back then in the beginning was flattening the curve. Man, we got to flatten the curve. Flatten the curve. So if you put it in context, the curve was flattened everywhere, even in the worst states. It was flattened. So if you want to jump on Trump about his coronavirus, reaction and stuff, if anything, he overdid it. Because the economy went to crap. We got unemployment through the roof. People who can't pay their mortgages, can't pay their rent. All this horrible stuff happened. If anything, he reacted too much. Interesting. And the curve never even happened. There was no curve. It was like, beep.
Yeah. I mean, they gave out the. I think that's why they gave out the stimulus, and you did hear on the Monday that the Democrats negotiated. They came together and they with the Republicans. Far as they went from three. See, the Republicans said they were doing too much spending, so the Democrats and Pelosi said, "Hey,
who said who was doing too much spending?"
The Republicans,
because it's hard to tell
which
one's doing too much.
The Republicans said Democrats was going too much spending.
Okay, too much. Because the Republicans plan that spent $6 trillion.
Yeah, no, they so for the corona relief, the Democrats, they proposed a $3.3 trillion bill.
Oh, okay.
The Republicans saying that's too much because the Democrats had a lot of states.
How much was the Republicans one that they did pass?
It was
the CARES Act. The one that
CARES
did
was
pass.
1.2.
No, that was $3 trillion.
Oh, I thought
it actually cost.
No, I thought you were talking about the one right now that they proposed for.
No,
the one that
did pass.
The one
was
that
$3 trillion.
It was $3 trillion,
and it actually cost us $6 to $9 trillion. They're still trying to figure out how much it's going to cost.
So now Pelosi's like, all right, in order. This is, and I quote. Tell me if you agree with this. Pelosi said, and I quote, "In order to stop the COVID, we need money. And in order to give people money, we have to spend money." So that's what she had quoted on the saying. So she said, in order to stop Corona, it takes money. It takes money for the schools. It takes money in the hospitals. So they went down to 2.2 trillion. So they're saying they're asking Republicans, is that good enough? Republicans wanted 1.5. So Pelosi said, "This is."
Is this an auction? I mean, are they haggling? They're haggling, right? They're haggling with each other, right?
So
they're never going to agree.
This was supposed to be the one that
man. We just want to screw America with a telephone pole. We need a phone, a fence post.
Everyone's saying
we need a bundle of fence posts.
Everyone's saying that this one might get passed because Pelosi is finally. She said, we met them kind of halfway. Let's do it. And basically, in this bill, you do get $600. The Democrats brought back $600 a week. Up until June, they're giving everyone $600 a week for unemployment up until June in this one, and you get $1,200, and it is $500 for these people. So that's why it's so.
I don't think they should pass one until after the election.
So
seriously, man, because it's so stinking crazy. Like they're literally buying votes. That's what they're trying to do.
I'm going to be without employees until July,
right?
In June.
But you're only one person.
Back to this 600.
See, that's the thing. That's what buying votes is. No, look, they're buying votes. So you're not going to vote for them because they're taking all your employees. But all your employees going to vote for them.
Yeah.
So that's 15 votes they gained and only one that they lost.
That's a great point. That's a great point. So
stupid.
I'm not for the whole signaling out of that because, guys, I'm telling you,
I'm not even American. What am I doing here?
Yeah, he's
Where were we at? Walmart.
he's Canadian, man.
They got Walmarts in Canada?
I don't know.
You
Are
Canadian? I like
kids.
Canada.
They're supposed to be nice, but I be seeing some of Ghostly's comments.
Canada.
I be wanting Ghostly to keep it positive, but my Canadian
They're hockey fans, dude. Of course they're violent.
No, but you supposed to go to Canada. It's supposed to be sweet. Everyone's
Hey.
super nice. Yes,
That's right, eh?
Yeah,
Right, eh?
they're A's. They're the A's.
The A's. That's a stereotype. That's a stereotype.
That's a
stereotype.
So they're not strictly super nice in Canada. Have you been to
I
Canada?
guess.
You never.
Do you think that all these reforms would lead to a cutting of the federal police forces and law enforcement?
Defunding police. That's
Well,
gonna
I
come
would
up.
like to see some of the the police cut, for instance.
Joe, what's
Yeah,
the
the
defund police?
FBI agents.
You want to get rid of it?
Absolutely. I'm fine with if you want to have an FBI that's like an advisory, maybe a lab where states can, see as an advisory kind of clearinghouse, that's fine. But as far as federal agents, I mean, a lot of them, if you watch these FBI shows and movies and stuff, they're usually there for drugs anyway. So absolutely. And I'd like to take it one step further and point out that crime is a local issue. Whether it's assault, robbery, burglary, anything like that. That's a local issue that should be decided among the local people. The police department, mayor, city council.
Oh,
voters,
she's jumping on
homeowners.
Kokesh, man. Kokesh was a big localization guy.
I think that's probably a good time to bring us to spending more generally.
Yes.
We're talking about things that we spend a lot of money on. Nobody really seems to want to talk about spending this election, or really,
I
guess,
wonder
any
why.
election. But yeah, libertarians, we love to talk about cutting spending, so.
Yeah, because they don't want to cut spending, because then the people that got cut are going to stop voting for them. That's they're buying votes. That's what they do. They buy votes with your money. So they're going to take your money and give it back to you and say, vote for me.
Vote for me. Yep.
Republicans used to talk about cutting spending. Notice you don't hear them talking about cutting spending anymore, which is why I can no longer say a libertarian takes the best of the Democrats and Republicans, because there is no best left. So as far as spending goes, we absolutely need a strong military. We need to defend our shores. We need to defend our borders. We need to have military strength that we can't be invaded. However, we don't need to be around the world. We're in 160 different countries.
Amen.
We're in places like France and Germany. We're in the Middle East. That's where we need to cut our spending from overseas. And, what's surprising to people when I point this out, because a lot of them.
You had a big stream on that
Actually, they love
about
it.
people.
And I've talked to so many
Yeah.
people.
Oh, that was my Twitch stream. Yeah.
And they say,
And bring them home.
Bringing them home and about
Right there, man. Leslie, oh, we're going to just steal this comment, right? Oh, I can't. Let me see. Can I?
And just about how they justified the Americans, we justify war because we want to make a better
I just stole that from
because,
Joe Jorgensen's
right
chat.
from her chat. So
and people were shocked. Why would soldiers be against it? Because they've seen firsthand.
they said that we're still over there because we need to build a better community and format, and so that it won't create terrorism if they have
in Alabama, Wyoming, wherever, pay for France's
if we
military.
kill off
Let them pay for their own
people
military,
that
maybe they
are.
can get longer vacations. So I am a college.
Is this thing
lecturer
starting
at the time,
soon?
so I know that
It
I
starts
do- I know that
at
Yeah, it should be starting soon.
the next
Pretty
year
soon.
is
Oh, Fox
April.
News is hosting it.
Fox. That's what I was saying. I kept saying Fox. I figured.
I don't know. It's just the moderators from Fox. Here we go. So we're gonna watch it on Fox.
No, watch it on Fox, and they're gonna have comments on it.
Or where they go.
There we go. Fox. Boom, there it is.
Goes to the federal government. And for every dollar that goes to the federal
After
government, you only
15
get something
months.
like 11 cents
Is that
back.
Epstein?
So
Oh,
why
Epoch
are we
News.
putting money into a department?
Oh, it already started, man.
Waiting
You know,
for.
Oh,
this
we missed the
light,
come
so let's
out.
get going. Our first subject is the
Sorry,
Supreme
Joe.
Court.
We'll get back to you in a minute.
President Trump, you
to
nominated
his
Amy
channel.
Coney Barrett over the weekend to succeed the late Ruth Bader Ginsburg on the court. You say the Constitution is clear about your obligation and the Senate's to consider a nominee to the court. Vice President Biden, you say that this is an effort by the president and Republicans to jam through an appointment and what you call an abuse of power. My first question to both of you tonight, why are you right in the argument you make and your opponent wrong? And
This is such a
where
weird
do you
question,
think
man.
a Justice Barrett would take the court? President Trump, in this first segment, you go first, 2 minutes.
Thank you very much, Chris. I will tell you very simply, we won the election. Elections have consequences. We have the Senate, we have the White House, and we have a phenomenal nominee, respected by all.
Phenomenal
Top,
counter.
top
Phenomenal
academic.
counter.
Good in every way, good in every way. In fact, some of her biggest endorsers are very liberal people from Notre Dame and other places. So I think she's going to be fantastic. We have plenty of time, even if we did it after the election itself. I have a lot of time after the election, as you know. So I think that she will be outstanding. She's going to be as good as anybody that has served on that court. We really feel that. We have a professor at Notre Dame, highly respected by all, said she's the single greatest student he's ever had. He's been a professor for a long time.
Why are
in a
you
great
right,
school.
Trump? Answer the question.
And we won the election, and therefore we have the right to choose her. And very few people knowingly would say otherwise. And by the way, the Democrats, they wouldn't even think about not doing it. If they had the only difference is they tried to address it.
Phenomenal.
There's no way they would give it up. They had Merrick Garland, but the problem is they didn't have the election, so they were stopped. And probably that would happen in reverse also. Definitely would happen in reverse. So
I'm
we
on
won the
Big Channel.
election,
You
and
want
we
to see
have
the
right to
green
do it.
screen? You'll see the video
President
on
Trump,
his
thank
channel.
you.
Link is in the
Same question
description.
to you, Vice
Oh, there it
President Biden. You have 2 minutes.
All right.
First of all, thank you for doing this. Looking forward to this, Mr. President. The American people have a right to have a say in who the Supreme Court nominee is. And that say occurs when they vote for a United States senator and when they vote for the President of the United States. They're not going to get that chance now because we're in the middle of an election already.
Mm-hmm.
The election has already started. Tens of thousands of people have already voted. And so the thing that should happen is we should wait. We should wait and see what the outcome of this election is.
I told you you
That's
wanted
the only
to do
way the
that.
American people get to express their view
What?
is by who they elect. their
Remember I told you
president, who
that
they elect their
Biden
vice
said that the next
Now,
president should
What's at
choose.
stake here, the president.
Oh, yeah. Well, they all said that.
He wants to
That's
get
what the
rid of
Republicans said when
Affordable
Obama tried to choose a
Care. He's been
replacement.
running on that, he ran on that, and he's been governing on that. He's in the Supreme Court right now trying to get rid of the Affordable Care Act, which will strip 20 million people from having insurance, health insurance now, if it goes into court. And the justice, and I have
Good question,
I'm not
Kevin.
opposed to the justice.
Good
She's
question.
like a very fine person. But she's written before she went to the bench, which is her right, that she thinks that the Affordable Care Act is not constitutional. The other thing is on the court, and if it's struck down, what happens? Women's rights are fundamentally changed. Once again, a woman could be held pay more money because she has a pre-existing condition of pregnancy. They're able to charge a woman.
He's talking about women's rights, but he wouldn't give this woman that's right next to him the right to be on the stage with him while she's competing for president, as well as both of them. The only other candidate that's on the ballot in all 50 states, Guam and DC.
All 50 states, they
All
did it.
50
Insurance companies
states.
are going to love this. And so it's just not appropriate to do this before this election. If he wins the election and the Senate is Democrat or Republican, then he goes forward. If not, we should wait until February.
There aren't 100 million people with pre-existing conditions. As far as the say is concerned, the people already had their say. They
Fox gonna let
Okay.
him talk. Right?
Justice
He's not gonna
Ginsburg
say,
said
"Hey,
very powerful,
hey,
very
it's your turn."
strongly.
Wait.
At some point, 10 years ago or so, she said a president and the Senate is elected for a period of time, but a president's elected for 4 years. We're not elected for 3 years. I'm not elected for 3 years. So we have the Senate, we have a president.
He's elected to the next.
During that period of time,
He's wrong.
and open it.
He's not elected till the next election. He's elected until the next inauguration.
And the 100 million people, Joe, the 100 million people is totally wrong. I don't know where you got that number. The bigger problem that you have is that you're going to extinguish 180 million people.
You're right. Goldstein right. Why are you acting like a
They're
hypocrite?
not true.
Well,
Because when he ran against Obama, he was like, nope, let the American people speak first. Or not when he ran against Obama. No.
Number one,
That's true.
Yeah,
knows that,
yeah. When he was running against Hillary, but Obama was still in
we
office.
expand Obamacare and we increase it. We do not wipe.
But
one of
The argument he has for that is Obama was definitely leaving. He was out the door. So what Trump was saying back then was that Hillary or himself should be the one to pick the next justice because he was definitely gone. So, but I see what the argument is. It does make sense.
Your party wants to go socialist.
Hey, Joseph, what's going on, man? Hey, no problem, man. We love it.
I am
And they're going to dominate you, Joe. You know that.
I am the Democratic Party right now. The platform of the
According
Democratic
to
Party
Harris.
is what I, in fact, approved of. What I approved of.
So the Democratic Party is no longer the party for legalization of marijuana.
And by the way, the 200,000 people that have died on his watch.
There it is.
COVID.
There it is. I told you.
Or 7 million.
That was going to be the one point to fire at Trump for killing
What
people.
does it mean for them going forward if you strike down the Affordable Care Act?
Joe, you've had 308,000 military people dying because you couldn't provide them proper health care in the military. So don't tell me
I'm
about
happy
this.
to talk about.
And if you were here, it
Here's
wouldn't
the
be
deal.
200, it would be 2 million people because you were very late on the draw. You
Late
didn't
on
want me
the
to
draw.
ban China, which was heavily infected. You didn't want me to ban,
All right, gentlemen,
which was heavily infected. You would have been much later, Joe,
Mr.
much later.
President, Mr.
You're
President,
talking about 2 million people.
Is he gonna
Mr. President, as a moderator,
Mute the mic.
we are going to talk about COVID in the next section.
Mute his mic.
Go ahead.
Let me. finish.
Oh,
The point
okay.
is
Fine.
that
Stepped up and let him
also
finish.
Is opposed to Roe v. Wade. That's
Gave him
not
a
valid
couple
as
of
well.
minutes to keep running his mouth, though.
And so that's also at stake right now. And so the election is
You
already
don't know it's on the
begun.
ballot. Why is it on the ballot?
If Roe v. Wade was if Roe v. Wade was at stake right now, then why hasn't Trump done something in the last 4 years about it? Yeah, all of you evangelical rights that are voting for Trump, let me tell you something. You're barking up the wrong tree. He ain't gonna do nothing about it. You're not pro-life. He's not pro-life. At least the libertarians would defund Planned Parenthood along with anybody else who's performing abortions. At least the libertarians would do that. And they would get the federal government out of it. So then all you'd have to deal with is your state.
Are seeking to overturn Obamacare, to end Obamacare.
And if you don't like abortions and the state supports abortions, you could simply move to another state.
Over the last
Or vice
4 years,
versa.
You have promised.
But the Republicans aren't going to do anything about Roe v. Wade. They are not going to abolish abortions. They are not a pro-life party. Don't even think about it. They've had 50 years. How many presidents have they had since Roe v. Wade? That's 50 years since Roe v. Wade. How many presidents have they had that have done nothing about it? Haven't even tried.
Let me ask my question.
Well, I'll ask Joe.
They're arguing back and forth right now because he wants to inaugurate, but Trump is not letting him.
President, I'm the moderator of this debate, and I would like you to let me ask my question, and then you can answer.
Trump, Trump is
You,
going
in the
hard
course of
right
these 4
now.
years, have never come up with a comprehensive plan to.
I'm here to pilfer your citizens,
Obamacare.
Dave.
And just this last Thursday.
Do your worst,
signed a
Canada.
symbolic executive order to protect people with.
It's like our nosy neighbor up north.
conditions 5 days before this debate. So my question, sir, is what is
You
the
can
Trump healthcare plan?
Oh, man.
First of all, I guess.
Oh, because it's behind the mic.
That's okay. I'm not surprised. Let me just tell you something.
Gonna have to switch
There's nothing
the.
symbolic. I'm cutting drug prices
Thanks,
and going
babe.
with favored nations, which no president has the courage to do because you're going against big pharma. Drug prices will be coming down 80 or 90%.
Is that better?
You could have done it during your 47-year period in government, but you didn't do it. Nobody's done it. So we're cutting healthcare.
What about
All of the
pre-existing
things that we've done,
Yes, not cut
insulin, I give
healthcare.
you an example, insulin. It was destroying families, destroying people because I'm getting it for so cheap.
We're talking about
It's like
Obamacare.
water, you want to know the truth. So cheap. Take a look at all of the drugs that what we're doing, prescription drug prices. We're going to allow our governors now to go to other countries to buy drugs because they pay just a tiny fraction.
I say this is open discussion.
No,
Let me
but
ask
this
you
is
about-
big-
let me-
this
you'll
is
be
big
happy,
stuff.
Sir, you'll be happy. I'm about to pick up on one of your points to ask the vice president, which is he points out that you would like to add a public option to Obamacare. And the argument that
Obamacare.
another Republican
You start talking about Obamacare?
is that is going to end private insurance and will. I'm sorry, I speak the question. It will end private insurance and create a government takeover of health.
It does not. It's only for those people who are so poor, they qualify for Medicaid. They can get that free in most states,
Sounds okay to
except
me.
governors who want to deny
She was
people
talking
for
about when you were
Medicaid.
talking.
Anyone who qualifies for Medicare would, Medicaid would automatically be enrolled in the public option. The vast majority of the American people would still not be in that.
I think it's because we are just so
option.
much louder. The mic's so much
Bernie
closer.
Sanders is far left on the manifesto, we call it. That
Manifesto.
gives you socialized
So put his
medicine.
hand
Look,
up.
hey,
Joe
I'm
gave
not
you-
going to let us know. The fact of the matter is, I beat Bernie Sanders.
Not by much.
I beat him the whole hell of a lot.
Not by
I'm here
much.
standing facing you.
Pocahontas would have left 2
I
days
tell
early.
you,
You would have lost every
All he
primary
knows how to
on
do
Super
is
Tuesday. You got
Look,
very
here's
lucky.
the deal. I got very lucky. I'm going to get very lucky tonight as well.
Oh,
And
here's the deal.
tonight I'm going to
With
make
what?
sure because
With what?
here's the deal. Here's the deal. The fact
the deal.
is that everything he's
Should've put
saying so
that in
far
there.
is simply a lie. I'm not here to call out his lies. Everybody knows he's a liar.
But you.
Whoa.
You're the liar.
I want to make
You
sure.
graduated last in your class,
I-
not first in your
I,
class.
I want to make
Mr.
sure.
President, can you let him finish, sir?
He doesn't know how to do that.
Oh,
Because,
You'd be
you know,
surprised.
you pick
You'd be surprised.
the wrong guy, the wrong night at the wrong time.
Listen, you agreed with
Here's the
Bernie
deal.
Sanders to the
The whole idea-
manifesto.
Joe said you picked the wrong one
There is
tonight.
no
What?
manifesto, number
Please let him
one.
speak, Mr.
Number
You
two,
just lost the left.
you
You just lost the left. You agreed with Bernie Sanders on a plan
how,
that's
folks,
absolutely
folks,
agreed
do you
to.
have any
and under that
idea
plan,
what
you have
this clown's
socialized,
doing?
call it
Mr.
Medicare,
you have
call
any
it
idea?
socialized medicine.
Mr.
I'll
President,
tell you what, he is not for any help for people needing health care.
To see the video, go
Because-
to Dave's channel. It's up on the
Because he in
green
fact
screen.
already has
Link is
cost
in the
10 million
description.
people
Go
the
ahead
health
over there
care
now.
that they had from their employers because of his recession. Number one. Number
Oh,
two,
yeah.
there are 20 million people getting health care through Obamacare now that he wants to take it away. He won't ever look you in the eye and say that's what he wants to do. Take it away.
No, I want to give
Number
them better
three.
health care at a much lower price
But- and
because
by the way, he
Obamacare
doesn't
is
know
no
how,
good.
he doesn't know how to
I've
do
already
that.
fixed it.
He has never
I've
offered
already
a
fixed
plan.
it to an extent.
He has never
Obamacare,
done a
as you
single
might
thing.
know, but probably don't.
gentlemen, you
is
realize
no
if you're
good,
both
Joe.
speaking at the
It's no
same
good,
time,
and it's too expensive.
let the president, go ahead, sir.
Obamacare is no good. We made it better, and I had a choice to make very early on.
I
We
agree.
took away the
Obamacare
individual
is
mandate.
not,
We guaranteed pre-existing
with them on
conditions,
that.
but
That's
took away
not
the
the way.
individual mandate.
especially for
Listen,
us.
this is the way it is. And that destroyed.
who censored you? Nobody censored you, ghostly one.
Then I had a
What?
choice to
Oh,
make.
you know
Do I let
what?
my
If you
people
put a
run it
curse word or
really
something
well
in there, you might have got censored.
or badly? If I run it badly, they'll probably blame him, but they'll blame me. But more importantly, I want to help people.
I have
Okay?
filters,
I said,
not
you're gonna run it
censors.
so well.
That's what
And I just had a meeting with them. They said the problem is no matter how well you run Obamacare, it's a disaster. It's too expensive,
I got you.
premiums
I
are
got
too
it.
high, and
That's
it doesn't work.
I
So
agree.
We do want to get rid of
agree
it.
with him on that.
Chris, we want to get rid of it.
I
And
understand.
you-
it,
I agree
but
too.
have to- I have to
Quadruple.
give you roughly equal time.
Good.
Please let the vice president talk.
Good.
He has no.
Let the guy moderate, man.
Of course we do.
Sends,
Please.
he sends out
And Trump just keep
wishful
on
thinking.
getting
He
in.
has executive orders that have no power. He hasn't lowered drug costs for anybody. He's been promising a healthcare plan since he got elected. He has none, like almost everything
Man.
else he talks about. He does not have a plan. He doesn't have a plan. And the fact is, this man doesn't know what he's talking about.
All right,
He's
I have one,
against-
I have one final question for you.
Sure.
Mr. Vice President. If Senate Republicans, we were talking originally about the Supreme Court here, if Senate Republicans go ahead and confirm Justice Barrett, there has been talk about ending the filibuster.
We're
or
still
even
all the way back to
court,
Justice
adding
Barrett now.
The 9 justices there.
Right?
You call this a distraction by the president, but in fact, it wasn't brought up by the president. It was brought up by some of your Democratic colleagues in the Congress. So my question to you is, you have refused in the past to talk about it. Are you willing to tell the American people tonight whether or not you will support either ending the filibuster or packing the court.
Whatever position I take on that, that'll become the issue. The issue is the American people should speak. You should go out and vote.
Joe's speaking
You're in
into the
voting
camera
now.
right now.
Vote and let your senators know how
Are you gonna
strongly
pack
you
the
feel.
court?
Vote
You're
now.
gonna pack the
Make
court?
sure you in fact let people know
He doesn't want
you're
to
a
answer the
senator.
question.
I'm not gonna answer the question
Why would you
because
answer that
because
question?
the question
Matu's moderating for me. Appreciate it, babe.
Will you
Who
shut
is
up,
on,
man?
listen, who is on your list, Joe?
Oh, did he say,
This
will
is
you
on
shut
your
up, man?
Gentlemen.
Is that what he just said?
It's so
Joe.
Pack the court.
We have-
I'm not gonna give
He
it
said,
up.
will you shut up,
He needs
man?
a gavel, man.
Segment.
The moderator needs a stinking gavel.
Joe just said, will you shut up, man?
Yeah,
He went,
people understand.
what?
Okay, cool.
47 years, you've done nothing. They understand.
All right.
You shut up,
Second
man.
subject is COVID-19. It's an awfully serious subject, so let's try to be serious about it. We have had more than 7.
Man, it's bad when you already feel sorry for the moderator.
Will
You
you,
know what I mean?
shut up, man?
Hey, will you shut up? I didn't even tell you to shut up.
No, this is crazy.
Of course, we kind of friends, so they're not.
Years before we come back to anything approaching normal. My question for both of you
Okay, what's
is
the next
based
question?
on what you have said and done so far and what you have said you would do starting in 2021, why should the American people trust you more than your opponent to deal with this public health crisis going forward? In this case, the president is first 2 minutes uninterrupted.
That would be classic.
That's funny.
200,000 dead.
Okay,
They said over 7 million infected in the United States.
how many times is Trump going to
We, in
interrupt
fact,
Biden?
have-
Oh, God.
Should
You,
do the counter-
you just have to keep your finger on it. You would not
20%
be.
Is he going to be able to finish talking?
40,000 people a day are contracting COVID. In addition to that,
Wow.
about between 750 and 1,000 people a day are dying. When he was presented with that number, he said, it is what it is. Well, it is what it is because you are who you are. That's why it is. The president
What?
has no plan. He hasn't laid out anything. He knew all the way back in February how serious this crisis was. He knew it was a deadly disease. What did he do? He's on tape as acknowledging he
Joe's
knew
been
it.
waiting for
He
this.
said he didn't tell us to give
Democrats been
people a
waiting for
warning
this,
of it
trust me.
because he didn't want to panic the American people. You don't panic. He panicked.
Hit him, hit
In
him.
addition to that, what did he do? He went in and we were insisting that the Chinese, the people we had on the ground in China should be able to go to Wuhan and
Jesus
determine
Christ,
for
that's the
themselves
Declaration
how
of
dangerous this
Independence
was.
behind him.
He did not even ask Xi to do that.
Oh,
He
man.
told us what a great job Xi was doing. He said we owe him a debt of gratitude for being so
It would be
transparent
poetic
with us.
justice and irony
what
if
did
that
he do
wall
then?
fell down
He
and
then
killed them both.
did nothing. He waited and waited
Death by
and
the
waited. He
Declaration.
still doesn't have a plan. I laid out
Declaration of
in March
Independence.
exactly what we should be doing.
What we need.
And I laid out again in July what we should be
We
doing.
hold these
We
truths
should
to
be
be
providing all the
self-evident. All
protective gear
men
possible. We should be
created
providing the money the
thriving.
House has passed in order to be able to go out and get people the help they need to keep their businesses
See
open.
this over
Open
here?
schools that cost a lot of money.
Instituted among
You
men
should get out of your
deriving their
bunker
just
and get out of the
authority.
sand trap and get in your golf
And that if
course
any
and go in
form
the
of
Oval
government
Office and bring
is the
together
right of the
Democrats
people
and
to
Republicans and
alter
fund
or
what needs to be done
abolish,
now to save
people to
lives.
alter or abolish
You know,
that
we
government.
would have listened
Wait,
to
you
you.
have 2 minutes, sir.
That if the government no
If we
longer
would have
serves, that's a
listened to
statement
you,
right there. That's right behind
Country
his
would have been
head.
left wide open. Millions of
When
people.
government
would
no
have
longer
died, not
serves the people,
200,000, and one
but it's
person
our
is too much.
duty
It's China's
to
fault.
alter
It should
or
have never
abolish it.
happened. They stopped it from going in, but it was China's fault. And by the way, when you talk about numbers, you don't know how many people died in China. You don't know how many people died in Russia. You don't know how many people died in India. They don't exactly give you a straight count, just so you understand.
Yeah, it's
But
true.
if you look at what we've done, I closed it and you said he's xenophobic. He's a racist and he's xenophobic because you didn't think I should have closed our country.
Wait
Wait a
a
minute.
It says 2 minutes.
You didn't think we should have closed our country because you thought it was terrible. You wouldn't have closed it for another 2 months. By my doing it early, in fact, Dr. Fauci said, President Trump saved thousands of lives. Many of your Democrat governors said, President Trump did a phenomenal job. We worked with the governor. Oh, really? Go take a look. The governors said I did a phenomenal job. Most of them said that. In fact, people that would not be necessarily on my side said that. President Trump did a phenomenal job. We did. We got the gowns, we got the masks, we made the ventilators. You wouldn't have made ventilators. And now we're weeks away from a vaccine. We're doing therapeutics already. Fewer people are dying when they get sick. Far fewer people are dying. We've done a great job. The only thing I haven't done a good job, and that's because of the fake news. No matter what you say to them, they give you bad press on it. It's just fake news. They give you good press, they give me bad press, because that's the way it is, unfortunately. But let me just tell you something. I don't care. I've gotten used to it. But I'll tell you, Joe, you could never have done the job that we did. You don't have it in your blood. You could have never done that job.
You know,
I know how to do the job. I know how to get the job
Well, you didn't
done.
do very well in swine flu. H1N1, you were a disaster. Your own chief of staff said you were a disaster.
14,000 people died, not 200,000. There
is
was no
very
economic recession.
Sir, you made a
H1Z1 wasn't, H1Z1. H1N1 wasn't
No
a
one-
pandemic.
No, we didn't shut down the economy. This is his economy he shut down. The reason it's shut down is because, look, you folks at home, how many of you got up this morning and had an empty chair at the kitchen table because someone died of COVID? How many of you were in a situation where you lost your mom or dad and you couldn't even speak to them? You had a nurse holding the phone up so you could in fact say goodbye.
You would have lost far
How
more
many
people.
people?
Far
That is-
more people.
Okay,
And you
to
would have
give
been-
another
by the way,
example of
your
Trump having
own-
no
his
plan.
own-
He
his
puts
own
tariffs on
safety
Canadian
director
steel.
says
Okay.
he could lose as
He
many
has
as
no
another
steel means no country.
200,000 people between
What
now
he
and
done
the end
to
of the year.
increase U.S.
He
steel
told us that
manufacturing?
if we just
Anything?
wear a
I'm
mask,
asking.
we can save
Oh yeah, he's a
just a mask.
big fan of the
And
steel
by the way,
industry.
In terms of the.
He probably cut
the-
taxes and regulations on them.
We're for a vaccine, but I don't trust him at all. Nor do you. I know you don't. What we trust is a scientist.
You don't
We
trust
Dr.
Johnson
Fauci.
Johnson, Pfizer.
And
Okay,
by the way,
gentlemen,
and
gentlemen,
then,
let me move on to.
I'm not horribly against.
Two of the questions I'm gonna ask.
I'm less
Focusing on the future. but
against
President
tariffs than I
you
am
have
taxes. I would rather have tariffs
contradicted
than
or
taxes
been at
because
odds with
tariffs
some of the
actually
government's
encourage
top scientists.
domestic
Week before
production.
last,
So it's
the
not
head of
necessarily
the
going
Centers for
to
Disease Control,
discourage
Dr. Redfield, said it would
imports
be
because
summer
the imports would just be
before
more
the
expensive.
vaccine would become generally
Has he built
available
any
to
facility? It's not
public.
the government's
He said
job
he was
to build
confused
any
and
facilities.
mistaken. Those were
So
your two
God,
words.
I hope he
But
hasn't built
Dr.
facilities.
Flowey, the head of your
That's
Operation
private
Warp
industry.
Speed, has
It's
said
not
exactly
government's
the same
job,
thing. Are they
unless
both
you're
wrong?
communist or
I've spoken to the
socialist.
companies and we can have it a lot
And we're
sooner.
not.
It's a very political thing
Yeah.
because people like this would rather make it political than save lives. It is a very political thing. I've spoken to Pfizer, I've spoken to.
This is where
all
he's
the people
speaking
that
to
you have
his
to speak to.
base.
We have great.
That is the
Moderna,
anti-political
Johnson &
base.
Johnson,
That's
and
the one who
others.
stands
They
behind
can go
Trump because
faster
he's
than
not a
that by
politician.
lot.
You've heard them, right? That whole group of people who are like, well, that's because Trump's not a politician. Those guys. That's who he's speaking to right now. That's how Trump won last time. Was he puts statements out there that speak to his groups, these little groups of people.
Before it's generally available, just like
He said
Dr.
it's a
Redfield.
possibility that we'll have
talking about
the
the
answer
vaccine now.
before November 1st. It could also be
I'm talking about when
after
it's
that.
generally available. not-
Well, we're gonna deliver it right away. We have the military all set up.
Why is the moderator arguing with him now?
We have our military that delivers soldiers and they can do 200,000 a day. They're going to be
this is
delivering.
the same man.
It's
who
all
told
set
you
up.
By Easter, this would be gone away.
He
By the
did say
warm
that.
weather,
You
it'd
got
be
him there,
gone.
Joe.
Miraculous, like a miracle. And by the way, maybe you could inject some bleach in your arm. That would take care of it.
Joe, don't bring up
This is
That
the
was
same
names.
said sarcastically.
That was-
you know
Yeah,
that.
don't bring
That
up
was
names,
said
Joe.
sarcastically.
And so here's the deal. This man is talking about a vaccine. Every serious company is talking about maybe having a vaccine done by the end of the year. But the distribution of that vaccine will not occur until sometime beginning or the middle of next year to get it out, if we get the vaccine. And pray God we will. Pray God we will.
Mr. Vice President, I want to pick up
You'll have
on
the
that.
vaccine
I
sooner
want to
than
pick up on
Joe
this
used
question though. You
memes.
say the public.
You taking the
can trust
vaccine?
scientists,
Ah,
but they can't
Me and
trust
Evolve
President
gonna be the
Trump.
first ones in
Your
line
running mates,
in that no vaccine
Oh,
line
yes.
with my kids.
Right.
Suppressed, given the fact that polls already show.
So y'all can have
that
mine.
People
Yep.
are concerned
And
about
his.
the vaccine and are
And my
reluctant to take it. Are you and your running mate, Senator Harris, contributing to that fear?
No more than the question you just asked him. You pointed out. He puts
Go to
pressure.
Libertarian
He
Dave. You won't see the
disagrees
green
with
screen. You'll
his
see the
own
video. I'm
scientists.
over
But
on
you're
his
saying
channel.
that
For those that
Senator
are just
Harris
coming
is
in
saying you
over
can't
at
trust
his
the
channel
science.
today,
Oh, no,
Libertarian
you can't
Dave.
trust
The
the
link is
science.
in the
Yes, you
description,
didn't
so
say
you'll
that.
see
You
the
can't
video.
trust
She
and
said
not
the
me. So
public health
Did say
experts,
that.
quote,
go ahead over
will be
there.
muzzled, will be
Yes.
suppressed.
Well, that's what he's going to try to do. But there's millions of scientists, there's thousands of scientists out there, like here at this great hospital, that don't work for him. Their job doesn't depend on him. That's not, they're the people. And by
I
the way,
spoke to the
and
scientists that are in
by
charge.
the way,
They will have the vaccine very soon.
Let-
Do you believe
Oh,
for a moment?
The vaccine is coming
what
soon,
he's
people.
telling you, in light of all the lies he's told you about the whole issue relating to COVID?
What's up?
He still hasn't even acknowledged that he knew this was happening, knew how dangerous it was going to be back in February, and he didn't even tell you. He's on record as saying it. He panicked or he just looked at the stock market. One of the two. Because guess what? A lot of people die. And a lot more are going to die unless he gets.
Trump had nothing to
smarter,
do with
not
people
smarter.
dying, man. The virus killed them.
Use the word smart.
How the heck was he supposed to stop
You said
that?
You went to Delaware State, but you forgot the name of your college.
You don't stop a virus with laws. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
Either the lowest or almost the lowest in your class. Don't ever use the word smart. with
Oh!
Don't ever use that word.
He said Joe was the
Because you know
lowest
what? There's nothing
in his
smart
class,
about you.
and don't ever
47
use the word
years you've done
smart.
Let's have this debate.
And if you would have had, let me just tell you something, Joe.
Okay.
If you would have had
Whew, it's
in
getting hot.
charge of what I was put through, I had to close the greatest
Joe,
economy in the history
Don't
of our
ever
country.
say
And
smart
by the way,
out your
now it's
mouth.
being built
You were the
again.
lowest
So
in
it's
your
going
Going
up
after
class.
the
fast.
economy. in
How
the
you
next
know that,
Okay.
Trump?
It's going up fast.
Okay.
Look forward to it.
When it comes to how the virus has been
That's
handled
messed
so far,
That
the
was.
two of you have taken very different approaches, and this is going to affect
Of
how the
course.
virus is handled
Because
going forward.
Democrats
by
and Republicans can
whichever
never
of you ends up
agree
becoming the next
on
president. I
anything.
want to quickly go through several of those. Reopenings. Vice President Biden, you have been much more reluctant than President Trump about reopening the economy and schools. Why, sir?
Because he doesn't have a plan. If I were running, I know what the plan is. You've got to provide these businesses the ability to have the money to be able to reopen with the
That's why they
PPE,
want
as
2.2.
well as
He's
with
about to
the
get to their trip.
sanitation they need. You have to
Tell
provide
that to
them
Nancy
plastic.
Pelosi.
Will you just shush for a minute?
Tell him to shut up
He
again,
said
Joe.
shut
And
you.
by the way, Nancy Pelosi and Schumer, they have a plan. He won't even meet with them. The Republicans won't meet with the
Okay.
Senate.
But
He sits in his golf
I
course.
know around.
I mean, literally, think about it.
You probably
All right,
play
think
more
about
than I do, Joe.
what about this question of reopenings and the fact?
Well, he wants to shut down this country,
Oh.
and I want to keep it open. And we
You
did a
just-
great
you
thing
just
by
admitted
shutting
you
it
shut
down.
it down.
Wait a minute, Joe, let me shut you down for a second, Joe, just for 1 second.
Said if
We
Canada
wanted-
had any balls, we
He
would
wants to
threaten
shut
U.S.
down
drug
the country.
patents
We just
in
went through it. We
Canada.
had to, because we
We would
didn't know
see a
anything
different
about the
tune being
disease. Now
sung.
we
Real
found
talk.
that elderly
America
people
can't
with
supply
heart
itself.
problems and
How's that our fault?
diabetes and different
It's true in
problems are
regards to steel.
very, very vulnerable. We learned a lot. Young
Cynics
children
aren't correct,
aren't.
at least in my country.
Even younger people aren't. We've learned a lot.
They're already testing a
But he wants to
vaccine
shut
in
it
India,
down.
so just to
More
let you know.
people will be
The
hurt
Oxford
by
vaccine, they
continuing.
call
If
it.
you look at Pennsylvania, if you look at certain
PA.
states that have been shut down, they have Democrat governors all. One of the reasons they're shut down is because they want to keep it shut down until
Oh,
after
people.
the election.
All right,
on
I
November
want to
3rd.
move on to another
Because
subject.
it's a
I want to move
political-
on to another
I gotta
subject.
But those,
I
but
wanna
those
move-
states,
gentlemen,
those
wanna move
states
on to
are
another
not
subject.
doing well that are shut down
Which is
right
now.
now.
Respond to that.
What's
President
to shut down
Trump,
the
you
whole
have
country?
begun to increasingly question the effectiveness of masks as a disease preventer. And in fact, recently you have cited the issue of waiters touching their masks and touching plates. Are you questioning
No, I think
the
masks are
efficacy of
okay.
of
You have to
masks?
understand, if you look, I mean, I have a mask right here. I put a mask on it, when I think I need it.
He brought
Tonight,
out
as
his
an
mask.
example, everybody's had a test and
To
you've
see this
had
video, go to
social
his channel.
distancing and all of the things that you have to, but
It's
I
in the
wear masks
description.
when needed. When needed, I wear masks.
Okay, let me ask.
I don't wear masks like him. Every time you see him, he's got a mask. He could be speaking 200 feet away from it. He shows up with the biggest mask I've ever seen. I will say.
Biggest mask I've ever seen. Why does he exaggerate all
Every-
around like that?
Way to open businesses is give them the wherewithal to be able to.
It's the
We
biggest.
provided money.
But I was asking you, sir, about masks.
Oh, masks.
Oh,
make a big difference.
Joe was like,
And
we're
the
talking about masks.
CDC said if we
From
just
business.
wore masks between now, everybody wore masks and social distance between now and January, we'd probably save up to 100,000 lives. It matters.
And they've also
It
said the
matters.
opposite. They've also
And
said the opposite.
no serious person said the opposite.
They've
No
also said- well, look at
serious.
all right, I wanna
Dr. Fauci. Dr. Fauci said the
He
opposite.
did
I
not
want
say
to
the
ask you, we got a
Said
little
very
bit more than a
strongly,
minute left in this segment.
Masks are not good. Then he changed his mind. He said masks are good.
I
I'm
wanna
okay
ask-
with masks.
Did
I
he
wanna
fire
ask you about
Fauci?
one last
He did.
subject, because your different
Not a
approaches
bad
have even
decision.
affected the way that you have campaigned. President Trump, you're holding large rallies with crowds packed together, thousands of people. Outside, yes, sir, agreed. Vice President Biden, you are holding much smaller events with
Because nobody will show up.
people with.
Shut up, man.
Why are you holding the big rally? Why
Jeez,
you
your
not?
ego, man. Your ego can't get out of your own way. This is a presidential debate. Have some class, dude. Shut up. Shush yourself.
So far,
Joe
we
told
have
not
had
to.
no problem whatsoever. It's outside, that's a big difference according to the experts. And we do them outside, we have tremendous.
Say Joe is an expert?
crowds,
No,
as you
according
see,
to-
I mean, and literally on 24 hours notice. And Joe does the circles and has 3 people someplace.
Okay.
By the way,
He talks with his hands like a
one of the
New York
last good rallies he had, and a reporter came up to him to ask him a question. He said, no.
She's telling me to calm down.
Put on a mask.
Did you make me some tea? I need some calming
way,
tea.
Way far away from those other people. And that's what he said. I'm going to be okay. He's not worried about you. He's not worried about the people out there breathing in one another.
We've had no negative effect.
Camera, I got it. Sorry about that.
We've had no negative effect. And we've had 35,
All
40,000
right,
people
you wanna-
in these rallies.
Just
Yes.
quickly finish up because I want to move on to our next.
Yes, I would. He's been totally irresponsible the way in which he has handled the social distancing and people wearing masks, basically encourage them not to.
All right.
Then he's a fool on this.
If you could get the crowds, you would have done the same thing, but you can't. Nobody cares.
Gentlemen, can we move on to
Nobody
the,
cares.
gentlemen, can we move on to the economy?
Yes.
The economy is, I think it's fair to say, recovering faster than expected from the shutdown
Much
Just-
faster.
in the second quarter.
Trump's the only person I can think of
4%
They
last month.
bankrupted a
The Federal
casino.
Reserve says the hit to growth, which is.
I don't know if that's true or not, but it's funny.
They had expected. President Trump, you say we are in a V-shaped recovery.
You don't have your
Vice
mask?
President Biden,
Oh,
you
it's
say
so-
it's
I
more of
have
a
mine.
K-shape.
I do have it.
What
Mine does
difference
evolve too.
Does
It's
that
okay.
mean to
Oh,
the
that's
American people in terms of the economy? President Trump, in
Hamburger
this
now.
segment, you go
You
first.
want a hamburger?
So
No, I said I
the
want my
greatest
Chase to
economy
taste
in
it.
history. We closed it
Oh.
down because of the China plague. When the
Okay.
plague came in, we
The China
closed it down, which was very hard
China should have
psychologically to do. He
counter.
didn't think we should close it down, and he was wrong. And again, 2 million people would be dead now instead of still 204,000 people is too much. One person is too much. Should have never happened from China. But what happened is we closed it down, and now we're reopening, and we're doing record business. We had 10.4 million people in a 4-month period that we've put back into the workforce. That's a record the likes of which nobody's ever seen before. And he wants to close down he will shut it down again. He will destroy this country. You know, a lot of people between drugs and alcohol and
Does my mask work
depression,
like
when
this?
you start shutting it down, you take a look at what's
Look at my
happening in
mask,
some of
right
your
there.
Democrat-run states where they have these tough shutdowns. And I'm telling you, it's because they don't want to open it. One of them came out last week. You saw that. Oh, we're going to open up on November 9th. Why November 9th? Because it's after the election. They think they're hurting us by keeping them closed. They're hurting people. People know what to do.
It's
They
true.
can social distance. They can wash their hands. They can wear masks. They can do whatever.
Then why did you shut down the economy at all?
Yeah, that's what we're saying.
Stupid. If you're saying that, then why did you do it to begin with, except to pander to the public, to pander to the media?
You got to open these states up. It's not fair. You're talking about almost it's like being in prison.
I swear, Republicans, this is a perfect example of how they campaign as libertarians and then govern as Democrats.
It's like the people is
And
like
he'll
if they were
close
in
down the whole
prisons.
country. This guy will close down the whole country and destroy our
You,
country.
what did you do?
He did it.
Incredibly well.
It is very.
Setting records as it does it.
It's
Just
just like your bingo board.
Yeah, just like the bingo board, right? They're going to accuse each other of something that they themselves are guilty of.
That's funny.
How many times are they going to do it? Heck, we already got half the bingo board filled.
V-shaped recovery, you say it's a K-shaped recovery.
I know. Calm down, Libertarian. Calm down. You knew this was going to be this way. You knew this was going to get me hyped up. It just irritates me because 300 million Americans are watching this crap and buying it hand over fist. I'm waiting to when they start going to pander the fear. Like, if you vote for this guy, then you're going to die. Well, he's already doing that. If you vote for Biden, they're going to shut the whole country down again. And if you vote for Trump, I mean, I don't know.
No, once they
Biden
get
said.
into immigration, he'll talk about Joe Biden bringing everybody in.
Sir, it's just, yeah, I understand. You've agreed to the 2 minutes, so please let him have it.
Do I get my time back? The fact is that
Ooh.
he has, in fact, worked on this in a way that he's going to be the first president of the United States
Okay.
to leave office,
Mhm.
having fewer jobs in his administration than when he became president. Fewer jobs than when he became president. First one in American history. Secondly, the people who have lost their jobs are those people who have been on the front lines. those people who have been saving our lives, those people who have been out there dying, people who've been putting themselves in a way to make sure that we could all try to make it. And the idea that he is insisting that we go forward and open when you have almost half the states in America with a significant increase
video
in COVID
mentioned
deads and
Libertarian
COVID
Days.
cases
So
in the
the
United
link
States
is
of
in the
America.
description.
And
Go
he
ahead
wants
over
to
there so
open
you
it
can
up
see
more.
what we're reacting
Why
to.
does he
You
want
won't
to
just
open
see
it up?
me
Why doesn't
in
he
the screen
take care of the
scroll. Go ahead
Americans?
over
You
there. Link in
can't
the
fix the
description.
economy until you fix the COVID crisis. And he has no intention of doing anything about making it better for you all at home in terms of your health and your safety. Schools, why aren't schools open? Because it costs a lot of money to open them safely. You know, they were going to give, his administration was going to give the teachers and school students masks. And then they decided, no, couldn't do that because it's not a national emergency, not a national emergency. They've done nothing to help small businesses, nothing. They're closing. 1 in 6 is now gone. He ought to.
What are they talking about, man?
And take care of the needs of the American
First, he's
people.
saying that you didn't do enough, but then he's saying you did too much because you shut down the economy and you crippled small businesses and there's dying and they got jobs and now and then there's going to be less jobs than any president in history. But you didn't, but because of the shutdown, but you didn't do enough by shutting down more sooner and keeping it shut down. And you want to open up now, but so what the hell's
That's true.
What's the stinking answer, man?
That's true.
Brought back football. By the way, I brought back.
Oh,
Does that make sense?
He brought back football. He's bringing.
I'm very
Look.
happy to do it. And
All right.
He brought back
I'm
football.
very proud of me. And
This is what he said.
Gentlemen, we're going to get to your
He
economic
said-
plans
he missed
going
it.
forward in a moment.
He
But
said he
first,
brought
Mr.
back
President,
football.
As you well know, there's a new report that in 2016, the year you were elected president, and 2017, your first year as president, that
I'm
you
with
paid
him. I couldn't wait for football.
$750 a year in federal income tax each of those years. I know that you pay a lot of other taxes, but I'm asking you the specific question. Is it true that you paid $750 in federal income taxes?
Why does this even matter?
millions of dollars in taxes, millions of dollars of income tax.
Because it came out, he
And
only
let me
paid
just tell you, There was a story in
$750.
one of the papers.
tax.
I paid $38 million 1 year. I paid $27 million
Show us your tax
1 year.
returns.
I went, you'll see it as soon as it's finished. You'll see it. You know, what you want to do,
He's still
go to
getting
the
there.
Board of Elections. There's a 118-page or so report that says everything I have, every bank I have, I'm totally under leveraged because the assets are extremely good. And we have a very, we have a, I
Jonah
built
said
our
I'm
Trump
asking
is
you a specific
murdering
question,
Joe.
which
But
is,
let me tell you.
I understand all of that. I understand all of that.
But let me-
No, Mr. President,
Go ahead.
I'm asking you a question. Will you tell us how much you paid in federal income taxes in 2016 and 2017?
Millions of dollars.
You paid millions of dollars?
Millions of dollars.
So
yes.
not 750.
Millions of
Not
dollars. And you'll get to see it.
$750.
And you'll get to see
When?
it. But let me just tell you, Chris, let me just say something that it was
You're never
tax
gonna get to
laws.
see it.
I don't want to pay tax.
He said when it gets
Before I
done.
came here,
When it
I
gets
was a
done.
private developer. I was a private business people. Like every other private person, unless they're stupid, they go through the laws and that's what it is. He passed a tax bill that gave us all these privileges for depreciation and for tax credits. We built a building and we get tax credits like the hotel on Pennsylvania Avenue. You get a
Okay.
massive, which by the way, was given to me by the Obama administration, if you can believe that. Now the man got fired.
And it's so true, though. He's like, so you're criticizing me for taking care of taking advantage of tax cuts that you gave me.
How did we not have an Obama counter? We knew he was going to bring
Less
that.
tax
blame
Oh,
on Obama.
man.
make on the money a school teacher makes is because of him he says he's smart because he can take advantage of the tax code. And he does take advantage of the tax code. That's why I'm going to eliminate the Trump tax cuts. And we're going to eliminate those tax
Okay.
cuts and make sure that we invest in the people who in fact need the help.
Aw.
People out there need
He
help.
said he's going to
Why
eliminate
did
the
I do it
Trump
over
tax
20
cuts.
25 years.
Because you
Why
were
Why did
president.
you do it
It's not a
over-
good
You
thing
are
to say.
president screwing things up.
You were a senator. and
You're
by
the
way,
worst
you were a
president
vice-
America has ever had.
Hey,
Come
Joe,
on.
let me just say, Joe,
Joe
I've done
is
more
so
in
ghetto.
In
It's
47 months, I've done more than you've done in 47 years.
Come on,
Jeff.
you the
We've done
worst. Come
things that
on.
you never even thought of doing,
Okay.
including.
They're not even trying to
My
be
political
professional.
penis is bigger than
They're
yours.
not even
That's what you're
trying.
doing now.
They're not even
He
trying.
said,
to
I've
be-
done more in 47 months than you did in 47 years. My political penis is bigger than yours.
Right?
They both suck.
President
You both
focuses
suck.
a lot on big government, big taxes, big spending. I want to focus first on the taxes. You propose more than $4 trillion over a decade in new taxes on individuals making more than $400,000 a year and on corporations. President Trump says that that kind of an increase in taxes is going to hurt the economy as it's just coming out of a recession.
Well, just take a look at what is the analysis done by Wall Street firms. Points out that my economic
won't
plan
see the green
would
screen.
create
You actually
7
see the video
million
that
more
we're
jobs than
reacting
his
to.
before
You have to
number one.
go over the link
And
is
number
in
two,
the
it would create
description.
an additional $1 trillion in
Go
economic
to
growth
this channel
because
so
it
you
would
can
be
see
about
what we're reacting to.
buying America. That we're going to make this federal government spend $600 billion a year on everything from ships to steel to buildings and the like. And under my proposal, we're going to make sure that every penny of that has to
Both
be
touch
made
people
by.
inappropriately.
Respectfully, so I'm talking about taxes, not spending.
By the way, I'm going to eliminate.
I bet you they don't ask any questions about that.
Make the
Inappropriate
corporate
touching.
tax
How do you feel about
20%.
cuties?
Stop, Joe. Don't ask Joe that. Imagine if they asked Joe that. I'm leaving. That's not. Don't answer that, Joe.
Watch them both get really nervous.
You, in fact, passed that.
What's that?
And you know what happened?
You got it done.
Our economy boomed
And
like it's never
the
boomed.
economy
Well,
is
Mr. President,
let me finish.
Mr. President, let me pick up on that. You would continue your free market approach, lower taxes.
Should a moderator be wearing a red tie?
Correct?
Lower
Fox?
taxes.
Is he wearing a red tie?
He is.
But in Obama's, you talk about the economy booming, it turns out that in Obama's.
Oh no, it's
got
red
blue
and blue.
stripes.
Okay, so I see what he did
Blue
there.
more
I see what
jobs
they did.
were created,
You see what the dominant color
more
is.
jobs
Right.
than in the first 3 years of your presidency.
I think he's done a good job. though. Wallace, I think his name's Chris Wallace.
Since economic recovery, since
He's
1929, it was the slowest recovery. Also, they took over something that was down here. All you had to do is turn on the lights and you pick up a lot. But they had the slowest economic recovery since 1929. Let me tell you about the stock market. When the stock market goes up, that means jobs. It also means 401ks. If you got in, if you ever became president, with your
401ks
ideas,
did
you want to
go up.
terminate my tax,
They did
my
do good.
taxes, I'll tell you what, you'll lose half of the
Can almost
companies
read
that
it.
have poured in here will leave, and plenty
Half
of
of the
companies that are
companies
already here, they'll leave for
Hardly any
other places.
companies have.
They will leave, and you will have a depression, the likes of which you've never seen.
Look,
Mr.
we
Vice President.
inherited the worst recession short of a depression in American history. I was asked to bring it back. We were able to have an economic recovery that created the jobs you're talking about. We handed him a booming economy. He blew it.
It wasn't booming.
He
It
blew it.
wasn't booming.
It was
It was the weakest
Well,
recovery
sir, is it
since
fair to, wait, is it fair to say he blew it when, in
When
fact,
COVID came.
when there was record low unemployment
Yeah.
before COVID?
Yeah, but because what he did, even before COVID, manufacturing went in the hole. Manufacturing went in the hole.
Excuse
Number
me,
one.
Chris. Wait,
Number two.
Chris.
Number three.
They said it would take. No, you're number two.
No,
Chris. They said it would
This
take
guy.
a miracle to bring back manufacturing. I brought back 700,000 jobs. They brought back nothing. They gave up on manufacturing.
We
Part
did
of
not
my
do that.
standard fare.
I'm the guy
He
that brought
totally
back the
gave up on
automobile industry.
manufacturing.
Let him know.
We brought back, I was asked to bring back Chrysler and General Motors. We brought them back right here in the state of Ohio and Michigan. He blew it. They're gone. He blew it.
They're
And
gone?
in fact,
Chrysler and General Motors are
Ohio had
gone?
the best year it's ever had last year. Michigan
You can't buy
had the
Chevys
best
anymore?
year they've ever had.
that is not
Many
true.
car companies came in from Germany, from
Not-
Japan, went to Michigan,
No,
went to Ohio.
They're not happening.
And they didn't
Vice-
come in
wait,
with you.
Mr. Vice President, go ahead.
And so you take a look at what he's actually done. He's done very little. His trade deals are the same way. He talks about these great trade deals. You know, he talks about the art of the deal. China's perfected the art of the steal. We have a higher deficit with China now than we did before. We have the highest trade deficit
China
with
ate
Mexico.
your lunch.
All right,
Down
gentlemen,
18%.
and-
China ate your lunch, Joe. And no wonder your son goes in and he takes out billions of dollars. Takes out billions of dollars to manage. He makes millions of dollars.
Trump's coming out like a bully, man. I'm
while
telling
we're
you.
at it, why is it? Just out of curiosity.
But I mean, that's what his fans like, though. He's rallying his base.
Gave your son $3.5 million.
That's what they want. They want to see him bullying the Democrats, man. Because they felt like they got bullied for 8 years under Obama. So that's why. That's how he won, man. This attitude is how he won.
But no, Mr. President,
It's
Totally
totally
President,
Biden closed his office.
discredited. Totally discredited. And by the way,
Well, wait, he didn't get
No, no.
$3.5 million, Joe?
Mr. Vice,
He got
Mr.
$3.5 million.
President.
that is not true.
Oh, really?
Mr.
Oh,
President,
But, Mr.
it's an open discussion, please.
No,
It's a fact.
Well,
It
you
is
have
not.
raised an issue, let the
It's been
Vice
totally
President answer.
discredited.
Did
There was a
Barista pay him
report.
$183,000 a month? With
Let him
no
talk,
experience?
man.
Mr. President,
This is not how a debate's supposed to be ran, man.
Mr.
The only
President,
guy that
let him
thinks that-
answer.
He doesn't want to let me answer because he knows I have the truth. His
I was like,
position
let him
is
answer.
Totally, thoroughly
By
discredited.
who?
And you
The
could,
media.
by everybody. Well, by the
By the
media,
media,
by our
because they refuse
allies,
to
by
talk
the
about it
World
because they're
Bank,
embarrassed.
by everyone has discredited. Matter of fact,
Mr.
even the people
President,
who
please stop.
testified under oath.
So let me
Under
ask you
oath.
this,
Under-
Joe.
No,
under
no,
oath.
go ahead.
Let me answer his
Listen to
question.
you.
People under,
You got $3.5
He
million
testified-
from Moscow.
he testified under oath in his administration, said, I did my job and I did it very well.
Oh,
I did
really?
it
I'd like to know who
honorably.
they are.
Well, I'll give you the list
I'll
of the
fire
people who
Go
testified.
ahead, sir.
Sure, you've already fired most of them because they did a good job.
Some people don't do
Well,
a good
here's,
job. With you,
Go ahead.
that's
Wait a minute, you get the final word. Mr.
well. it's
Right?
hard to get any
Leg
word.
kicks for interruptions.
Excuse me, this.
Hey, let me
this
just
person.
say, Joe.
No, Mr. President,
$3.5
Mr.
million,
President.
Joe.
That is simply.
Why did he
not true.
deserve $3.5
It's
million from
murdering
Moscow?
Joe.
Look,
Joe looks like he
here's the
doesn't want
deal.
to
Hip hop
be there.
We want to
DX
talk
just
about families.
had
and
lupus
ethics.
diagnosis.
Oh.
I don't want to do that. I mean, his family, we could talk about all night. His family's
My
already.
family,
No, no, let him-
my family
already
lost
wrote.
a fortune by coming down and helping
Go
us
ahead.
with
Go ahead,
government.
sir.
And that's such
They're
a.
right here.
Mr.
That's
President,
Every single one of them lost.
This
a
is not
fortune
about
President,
my
coming and
family or
helping
his
us with
family, it's
government.
about your family.
They
The
didn't
American
want
people.
$3.5 million.
He doesn't, that's not true. It doesn't want to talk about what you need, you, the American people. It's about you. That's what we're talking about. here.
all right,
It's not
that's
about you.
the end of the segment. We're moving on.
It didn't take that.
Well,
Vice President, no,
Can I be honest? It's a very
Try
important
to be
question.
honest.
No, I
He stood up.
no,
He stood up.
the answer to
and
the
he
question is no.
threatened Ukraine.
Can I be honest?
sir,
No.
$1 billion.
That
if
is
you
absolutely.
Can I be honest?
not
No.
true.
take
You're-
doing it.
You're going to have,
Take.
True.
gentlemen, I hate to raise my voice, but it seems to be, why should I be different than the two of you? So here's the
Oh.
deal.
Point.
We have 6 segments. We have ended that segment. We're going to go to the next.
That's only the
segment.
first
In that
segment.
You each are going to have 2 uninterrupted moments. In those 2 uninterrupted minutes, Mr. President, you can say anything you want. I'm going to ask a question about race, but if you want to answer about something else, go ahead.
Uh-oh, here it comes.
I think that the country would be better served.
Right?
Allow
Got it ready.
most people to speak with fewer interruptions. I'm appealing to you, sir, to do that.
Well, and him too.
Well, frankly, you've been doing more
Well,
interrupting
that's
than
all
me
right,
have.
but he does plenty.
Well, less than. sir,
Why are
less
they
than-
arguing back and
less
forth?
than you have.
They're arguing about who's arguing more.
Right. The issue of race. Vice President Biden, you say
To
that
see the
President
video, you
Trump's
want to see this green
response
screen. You
to
got to
the
go to
violence in
Libertarian. It's
Charlottesville
in
3
the
years ago,
description. I'm actually
he
over
talked
on
about
his channel,
very
so
fine
he
people
has the
on both
video and
sides
stuff up.
was
So
what
go to
directly
his channel.
led you
All
to
of them,
launch
Joe
this run
Biden
for
should
president.
drop out the race.
President Trump. You have often
said
said that
Biden
you
is
believe
king.
you have done more for Black Americans than any president, with the possible exception of Abraham Lincoln. My question for the 2 of you.
Hey, Black
is
American
why
gets their
should
own
voters
segment.
trust
Yeah, so we
you
can't do
rather
this
than
from
your
Black Panther right
opponent
now because they
Right.
got
to
their own
deal with the
segment.
race issues facing this country over the next 4 years? Vice President Biden, you go first.
It's about equity and equality. It's about decency. It's about the Constitution. And we have never walked
My
away
brother's
from
calling me.
trying to require equity for everyone, equality for the whole of America. But
Oh, he's probably
we
calling me
never
about the
accomplished it.
debate.
But we've
David
never
is.
walked away from it like he has done. It is true. The reason I got in the race is when those people, close your eyes, remember what those people look like coming out of the fields carrying torches, their veins bulging, spewing
What is he talking
anti-Semitic
about?
bile, and accompanied by the Ku Klux Klan. A young woman got killed. And they asked the president what he thought. He said there were very fine people on both sides. No president has ever said anything like that.
Finish this.
It is who's.
Now,
He's going to go after him for
Second
crap that he says?
is that when
That's not how you're going to beat Trump.
Mr. Floyd was
Nobody
killed,
cares about what he
there was a
says.
peaceful
Have you
protest
watched
in
his
front of the
Twitter?
White House. What did he do? He came out of his bunker, had the military use tear gas on him so he could walk across to a church and hold up a Bible. And then what happened after that? The bishop of that very church said that it was a disgrace. The general who was with him said all he ever wants to do is divide people, not unite people at all. This is a president who has used everything as a dog whistle to try to generate racist hatred, racist division. This is a man who, in fact, you talk about helping African Americans. 1 in 1,000 African Americans has been killed because of the coronavirus. And if he doesn't do something quickly, by the end of the year, 1 in 500 will have been killed. 1 in 500 African Americans. This man is a savior of African
How
Americans.
is that
This man
Trump's fault
cares
that
about
African Americans are
This
dying
man
of
is
corona?
doing virtually nothing.
How is that Trump's
The fact
fault?
is,
Did he
you
make
have
the
to look
virus?
at
Is
what
he spraying it in their faces or
You have to
something?
look at what he did. And what he did
He's not
has been
pumping in the
disastrous
money
for
into
the African American
those
community.
African American.
So-
That crap doesn't make any
President Trump,
sense,
you have 2
man.
minutes. Why should Americans trust you over your opponent to deal with
He
racism?
did a crime bill, 1994.
You saw I'm not
where they
touching this
called them
subject. I'm a
super
KIP.
predators,
I like to
African-American
hear.
super predators. And they've
I
never
will.
forgotten
I ain't
it.
scared.
They've never forgotten it, Joe.
I'm not
Sir,
racist. I ain't got nothing to be
So
scared
you
of.
did that, and they called you super predator, and I'm letting people
Oh,
out of
call
jail.
them
super
about that.
predator.
You have treated the African American
So we have that on a banner?
population community. You have treated the black community about as bad as anybody in this country. You did the 1990, and that's why if you look at the polls, I'm doing better than any Republican has done in a long time because they saw what you did. You call them super predators, and you've called them worse than that because you look back at your testimony.
You
over
call
the
black
years, you've
people
called
super
them a
predators?
lot
I don't
worse than that.
know.
As far as the
You
church
see
is
me, I'm
concerned,
like, what?
and as far as the generals are concerned, we just got the support of 250 military leaders and generals, total support. Law enforcement, almost every law enforcement group in the United States. I have Florida, I have Texas.
Well, yeah,
I
because
have
the Democrats were
Ohio,
screaming to
I
defund the
have
police.
Portland, the
That's a good way to
sheriff
give
just came
support
out
from the
today
law
and he said, "I
enforcement over to
support
the other.
President
Right?
Trump." I don't think you have any law enforcement. You can't even say the word law enforcement because if you say those words, you're going to lose all of your radical left supporters. And why aren't you saying those words, Joe? Why don't you say the words law enforcement? Because you know what? If they called us in Portland, we would put out that fire in a half an hour,
About
but
to
they
get on
won't
to
do
fund the
it because
police.
they're
He's
run
about
by
to.
radical left
Hmm?
Democrats. If
Trump's
you look
about
at
to bring it up.
Chicago,
It's coming.
if you look at any
Democrats
place you want to
will
look, Seattle,
Defund your police.
they heard we
He's
were
about to come
coming in
up.
the following day and they put up their hands and we got back Seattle. Minneapolis, we got it back, Joe, because we believe in law and order, but you don't. The top 10 cities and just about the top 40 cities are run by Democrats and in many cases radical left. And they've got you wrapped around their finger, Joe, to a point where you don't want to say anything about law and order. And I'll tell you what, the people of this country want and demand law and order, and you're afraid to even say it.
All right. I want to return to the question of race. Vice President Biden, after
Right.
the grand
Good job,
jury in the
Chris.
Breonna Taylor case, decided not to charge any of the police
I'm getting
with
Brianna.
homicide. You said it raises the question, quote, whether justice could be equally applied in America. Do you believe that there is a separate but unequal system of justice for blacks in this country?
Yes, there's systemic injustice in this
Get
country,
it up.
in education.
And in 47 years, you haven't been able to fix
law
it.
enforcement and the way in which it's enforced. But look, the vast majority of police officers are good, decent, honorable men and women.
Performance
They
enhancing
risk their
drugs
lives
are
every
our
day to take care of us. But there are some
Said
bad
Trump wanted to
apples.
test
When they
it before
occur,
the
when they
debate.
find them, they have to be sorted out. They have to be held accountable.
That's messy.
They have
For
to be
real.
held accountable. And what I'm going to do as President of the United States is call together an entire group of people at the White House, well, everything from the civil rights groups to the police officers, the police chiefs, and we're going to work this out. We're going to work this out. So we change the way
Have like an
we have
AA
more
meeting?
transparency and when these things
All
happen.
right. For criminal justice reform?
See what happened to George Floyd. These cops aren't happy to see what happened.
That's not the answer. What are you talking about,
They
dude?
don't like it, but we have to have a system.
That's all they're
where
doing
people
is-
are held accountable.
Oh my God. We got to get together and talk about it.
Yes.
How about Joe Jorgensen? We'll end qualified immunity. We'll end no-knock warrants. We'll end civil asset forfeiture. I mean, these are things that you can do. If they would say it, then they would have to do it. And they won't do it because all they want to do is talk to get your vote. They have no intention on any action.
I promise we're going to get to the issue of law and order.
None of them said one of those things. Qualified immunity, no-knock warrants, civil asset forfeiture, the war on drugs, any of the things that would fix racial injustice in this country, and they haven't said any of those words. Trump talks about Biden won't say law enforcement. Neither one of them are saying one of the four things that could fix this problem.
Do you believe that
that
there is
contributes to institutional racism, which if you didn't watch that video, it was about a month
I
ago, right?
did it because a lot
Good
of
one.
people were complaining that they were asked to do things that were absolutely insane. That
They're talking about all they're doing is bashing each other. Crap.
revolution that was taking
It's just
place
bashing each other. That's all it is. Just
in our
nonstop bashing. You don't have that. Have they talked about a policy yet? Have they talked about one thing that they're going to do to make this country better if they get elected or reelected?
You had no status in life.
All they doing is talking about crap. He did this. He said, she said. It's like watching freaking divorce court, man.
Very bad ideas, and frankly,
Sorry.
very sick ideas. And really, they were teaching people to hate.
I'm
our
not.
country. I'm not going to allow that to happen. We have to go back to the core values of this country. They were teaching people that our country is a horrible place. It's a racist place, and they were teaching people to hate our country. And I'm not going to allow that to happen.
Vice President Biden?
Go to his channel. The link is in the description. You won't see the green screen.
I
You'll
know
see
a
the
lot
video
more
of
about
what we're
that. Let him
reacting
finish.
to. So I just
The fact is
to
that
kind of
there
filter you
is
guys over to the
racial
Libertarian
insensitivity.
Day.
People
Link
have
is
to
in
be
the
made
description.
aware
That way you guys can
of what
check out
other
what we
people
got
feel
going on.
like, what insults them, what is demeaning to them. It's important that people know they don't want to. Many people don't want to.
Trump got elected by demeaning people and insulting people.
Oh yeah.
So why are you even going there, Biden? The Democrats are throwing the freaking towel in this election. I mean, obviously they
It's a little bit like how
they nominated the worst candidate that they had.
Look down on so many
They kicked Tulsi Gabbard out, was the best candidate they had
Irish kids
early
like
on.
me and grew up in Scranton. They look
And
down
then they
on
hire
people
then
who don't
then what's he do? He
look down
nominates
on
the worst
people
possible
who have
vice presidential
different
candidate.
faith. They look
The
down on
Democrats
people
threw in the
who
towel,
have
man.
different color. In fact,
All y'all Democrats just vote Libertarian.
the way we're gonna bring this
You'll
country
win.
together is bring everybody together. There's nothing we cannot do if we do it together. We can take this on and we can defeat
Cameraman, how-
racism.
Vice President, President Trump, sir.
During the Obama-Biden administration, there was tremendous division. There was hatred. You look at Ferguson. You go to very many places. Look at Oakland. Look what happened in Oakland. Look what happened in Baltimore. Look what happened. Frankly, it was more violent than what I'm even seeing now.
Oh, my
But the
Lord.
reason
This
is that the
ridiculous.
Democrats that run these
Absolutely
cities
ridiculous.
don't want to
Oh,
talk like
Biden
you about
interrupted
law and
him.
order.
He's just more quiet about it.
Violent
Are you in favor of law and order?
I'm in favor of law. You follow
Are you in
it, and a
favor
little
of
bit
law and order? Go ahead,
Yes, I'm
say
in
it.
favor.
You asked a question, let him finish.
Law and order.
Loses
Law and order.
Let him.
Law and order with justice, where people get treated fairly. And the fact of the matter is, violent crime went down 15% in our administration.
All right.
It's gone up on his watch.
Went down
He-
much more
he
in
had-
ours.
All right,
He is president of
Mr.
the
President, you're going
United States of
to.
America.
Can they just throw
Mr.
stats
President,
out there without any proof
Mr.
whatsoever?
President,
Right.
because we're not going to talk about law and order.
Because one says, "Oh, mine went down more. I went down.
Yeah.
Yours went up. Mine went down. No, mine went down more than yours. I don't know what you're talking about. Mine went up."
Right.
This
Something is
summer
true.
particularly,
Something.
and you often blame that on Democratic mayors and Democratic governors, but in fact, there have been equivalent spikes in Republican-led cities like Tulsa and Fort Worth. So the question is this really a party issue?
I think it's a party issue. You can bring in a couple of examples, but if you look at Chicago, what's going on in Chicago, where 53 people
We deserve
were
better,
shot
but
and 8
Biden
guys
ain't
shot.
better.
You
Obama,
look at New
Biden
York, where
wasn't.
it's going up like nobody's
It was
ever
the
seen
same
anything.
division,
Numbers
just in
are
the
going up
opposite
100,
direction.
150, 200%.
Both of them had one.
Crime.
A wedge looks like
It's
this.
crazy what's
This
going
side of the
on.
wedge was
And he doesn't
Obama,
want to say
Biden, and
law
this side of the
order
wedge
because
has been
he
Trump and
because
Pence.
he'll lose his radical supporters.
Mhm.
And once he does
But
that,
what do they have in common?
if he
It's
ever had
government.
to run this country, and they ran it the way he would want to run it, we would have our suburbs would be gone. By the way, our suburbs would be gone, and you would see problems like
He
you've never
would
seen.
Suburbs?
not suburb unless he took a wrong turn.
Oh, I know suburbs.
He would
so
not.
much
I was
better.
very-
Why you trying? Don't trade insults, Joe. You're gonna get beat down, dude. This guy's a New
He
Yorker.
love this. He wait for Joe.
Suburbs are by and large integrated. There's many people today driving their kids to soccer practice and or to
Suburbs are by and large
black and
integrated.
white and Hispanic in the same car. As
I live
they
in
have
the
been any
suburbs.
time in
He lives in the
past.
suburbs.
What really
How
is a
integrated
threat
are they?
is
Oh,
suburbs.
boy.
And we're a pretty integrated city, right?
We are.
This is a very mixed city.
His failure to deal with the
Suburbs are not
environment,
integrated.
being flooded, being burned out because his refusal to do anything.
Counting him and
That's
my
why
neighbor across the
it's-
street.
I do want to say,
Yeah.
though, in in the joint recommendation that came from
Yeah,
the
no one on the
Biden,
street.
Bernie
even,
Sanders task force.
Well,
You talk
So,
about, quote,
Jones.
reimagining.
Aaron
Yeah, I got
Jones'
Aaron, I
family
got
lives down
Aaron
there.
Jones on my
What does
street.
He's military,
reimagining
though, so,
policing
yeah.
mean, and do you support? Let me, if I might finish the question. What does reimagining policing mean, and do you support the Black Lives Matter
Here we go.
Amen.
call for community control of policing?
Look, what I support
They don't want to
is
say
the
defund the
police
police.
having the opportunity to deal with the problems they face. And I'm totally opposed to defunding the police officers. As a matter of fact, local police, the only one defunding, and his budget calls for a $400 million cut in local law enforcement assistance. They need more assistance. They need, when they show up for a 9/11 call, to have someone with them as a psychologist or psychiatrist to keep them from having to use force and be able to talk people down.
Jesus, how much
We
would
have
that
to have
cost?
community policing like
Every
we had
cop got a
before.
psychologist. That's almost as bad as devolving with his doctor in every house thing,
Crime
man.
went down. It didn't go up, it went down. And so we have to be engaged.
That's not what they're talking about,
That-
Chris. That's not what
that-
they're talking about.
That's
He's talking about
exactly,
defunding the
that,
police.
that is not true.
He doesn't have any
Would-
law
Would you,
support.
look,
He has no law enforcement
that's not
support,
true.
almost
That's
nothing.
not, look,
Oh, really? Who do you have? Name one group that supports you. Name one group that came out and supported you. Go ahead.
look,
Hey, we have time.
we don't have time to do
No,
anything.
think
All right.
about it.
All right,
Name
folks,
one law enforcement group that came
I
out
think,
and supported
gentlemen, I think I'm going to take back the
There aren't.
moderator's
I don't think
role,
there
and
are any.
I want to get to another subject, which is the issue of
Ouch.
protests in many cities
Got him on
that have
that. If
turned
you could name
violent. In
one.
Portland,
Oh, yeah,
Oregon,
law
especially,
enforcement.
we had more than 100 straight days of protests, which I think you would agree. You talk about peaceful protests. Many of those
part of
turned
that
into
division.
riots.
The law
The vice
enforcement
president-
is Republicans
You
and
say that
minorities
people who
are
commit crimes
Democrats because
should
the
be
law
held
enforcement and
accountable.
minorities are
The
against
question
each
I have,
other.
though, is as the Democratic
Sure.
nominee, and
You know,
earlier tonight
like-
you said
like
that
you are
the
supposed to be
Democratic
against
Party
your
right
brother
now.
Right.
who's in
Have
law
you ever
enforcement.
called the
and-
Democratic mayor of Portland or the Democratic governor of Oregon and
Nah.
said, hey, you got to
How
stop
could you be
this,
friends with your
bring in
brother?
the
Right.
National Guard,
He law
do
enforcement.
whatever it
You a
takes so
minority.
that you stop the
Can't be friends with him.
months
But he's a
of
minority
violence.
too, isn't he?
Yeah.
He must hate himself.
I don't.
Hate himself. All right.
I am.
He must be looking in the mirror going, "You ain't
Right.
black."
Clear in my public statements that violence should be prosecuted. It should be prosecuted. And anyone who commits it.
You're
You never
stupid
called
if
for
you
the
don't say
people-
that.
that's
How
right.
could you not say violence not be
You have
prosecuted?
never called
Oh,
leaders
they
in
just
Portland
do.
and
They're just
in
discouraged.
Oregon to call
Because
bring in the National Guard and knock
Well-
off 100 days of riots.
They can, in fact, take care of it if he just stay out of the way. Look,
Oh, really?
here-
Oh, really?
here's the
But
thing.
I sent
sir,
in the
wait, I
U.S.
asked a
Marshal
question.
to get the killer of the young man in the
Oh,
middle of the
Joe,
street.
he'll
They
close
shot
his
him. And for 3
Yes,
days,
President Trump,
Portland
President
wouldn't do
Trump,
anything. I
they
had to
interrupted-
send in the U.S. Marshal
Right.
to take care of business.
Go
Going
ahead,
up.
sir.
And by the way, his own former spokesperson said, riots and chaos and violence help his cause. That's what this is all
I
about.
don't know who said
I do.
that. Who?
Who said it,
I
Joe?
think Kellyanne Conway.
I don't think she's.
And so here's the point.
Oh, Joe didn't sound too
That's what
convincing
he
with
is,
that.
keeps trying to rile
Ouch.
everything up. He doesn't want to calm things down. Instead of going in and talking to people and saying, let's get everybody together, figure out how to deal with this. What's he do? He just pours gasoline in the fire constantly at every single solitary
Okay,
time.
and to end this, button up this segment, I'm going to give you a minute to answer, sir. You have repeatedly
I
criticized.
have to answer his
No,
statement.
you have
His statement.
repeatedly. No, you've been talking
He
back
made
and
a
forth.
statement.
I'm asking you.
I would love to end it.
sir.
I would love to end it. and
You
we
know, if
would
you want to
very-
switch seats,
We
we
would
could
very quickly.
we could do that. But
I'd
I'm
send
no,
in the National Guard, it would be over. There'd be no problem.
okay.
But they don't want to accept the National Guard.
You have repeatedly criticized the vice president for not specifically calling out Antifa and other left-wing
That's right.
extremist groups. But are you willing tonight to condemn white supremacists and militia groups
Uh-oh.
and to say that they need to stand down and
Will
not
Trump?
add to the violence in a number of these cities, as we saw in Kenosha and as we've seen in
Well,
Portland?
he
Are
denounced.
you
I'm willing
prepared
to
to
do that,
specifically
but
do it?
I
Go
would
ahead.
say-
Wait, why
I
is
would
there
say
a but?
Almost everything I see is from the left wing,
Oh.
not from the right
So
wing.
what are you saying?
I'm willing to do anything. I want to see
Well,
peace.
then do it,
You're
sir.
willing.
Say it.
Yes,
Say it.
I'm denouncing white
You wanna call him-
supremacists.
What do you want to call them? Give me a name. Give me a
White
name. Go ahead.
supremacists and
Who would you
white-
like me to condemn?
White supremacists and
Right.
white
Proud
militias.
Boys, stand back and stand by.
Okay.
But I'll tell you what. somebody's got to do something about Antifa
He's still
and the
ain't
left. Because
denouncing
this is
them.
not a right-wing problem.
His
This
own
is a left-wing.
FBI director.
This is a left-wing problem.
White supremacists. Antifa's an idea, not an
Oh,
organization.
you got to be
Not
kidding.
militia. That's what
Okay,
his
it's an idea.
FBI, his
Okay.
FBI director
Gentlemen,
said.
Well,
We're
then
gonna-
you know what?
No,
He's
no, we're
wrong.
done, we're done, sir. We're moving on to the next.
Everybody
We're
When
moving.
a bat hits you over the head, that's not an idea.
Everybody in
Antifa
your
is bad.
administration tells you the truth has a bad idea.
Can I tell you what?
You have no ideas. that are-
Antifa is a dangerous
All right,
radical
gentlemen, we're
group.
now moving on to the Trump
And
and
you ought to be
Biden
careful with
records.
them. They'll overthrow
He
you.
didn't say it though, did he? He didn't condemn.
never condemned.
He didn't condemn him.
That's crazy.
Is generally a referendum on his record. But Vice President Biden, you
He
must
didn't.
have
He
quoted
didn't
one of
condemn
his
white
ads,
white supremacists.
which
He
is
kept
don't
cutting
compare me
around
to
that
the almighty,
question.
Yeah.
compare me to the
That's
alternative.
insane.
And in this
It
case,
almost
there
sounded like he
are
was
the
going to. I was going to put it big too. If he was going to do it. We'll put
And
it.
He
both of your
didn't.
records, I'm going to ask each of you.
I had it
got
ready. I was like,
around
going
it.
about to
Voters
But
elect you president over your opponent. In this segment,
What?
President Trump, you go first.
Why would you elect me instead of my opponent?
There's never been
It's
an
just,
administration
here's your
or
chance to
president
bash your opponent
Yeah.
some more.
more than I've
This is
done
what is these
in a
questions?
period of 3.5 years. And that's despite the
Ah.
impeachment hoax. And you saw what happened
These
today with
questions
Hillary
are
Clinton,
bad.
where it was a whole big con job.
Well, they're
But
agreed to
despite
by
going
both
through
of
all
them.
of these things where I had to fight both flanks and behind me and above. There has
The
never
whole
been an
thing is
administration
staged, man.
That's done what I've done.
Yes, it's-
The whole
greatest
thing is
before
staged.
COVID
They
came,
both
it's the
agree
greatest
on what they're
economy
gonna
in
do.
What are they
history,
gonna
lowest unemployment numbers. Everything was good. Everything was going. And by the way, there was unity going to happen. People were calling me for the first time in years. They were calling,
Flabbergasted.
and they were saying it's time maybe. And then what happened? We got hit, but now we're building it back up again. A rebuilding of the military, including Space Force and all of the other things. A fixing of
where's Buzz
the
Lightyear?
VA.
Space
Which was a
Force,
mess
right?
under him.
We should be both enjoying this right now.
Because they didn't have proper health care. He was a mess.
To
And we had
infinity
a 91%
and beyond.
Approval rating at the VA, our vets. We take care of our vets, but we've rebuilt our military. The job that we've done, and I'll tell you something, some people say maybe the most important. By the end of the first term, I'll have approximately 300 federal judges and Court of Appeals judges, 300, and hopefully 3 great Supreme Court judges, justices. That is a record, the likes of which very few people, and you know one of the reasons I'll have so many judges? Because President Obama and him left me 128 judges to fill. When you leave office, you don't leave any judges. That's like, you just don't do that. They left 128 openings, and if I were a member of his party, because they have a little different philosophy, I'd say if you left us 128 openings,
Go
you
to the
can't be a
Libertarian
good
Dave.
president.
I'm at
You
his
can't
channel
be a
right
good vice
now. You
president.
won't see
But
the
I wanna
green
thank you
screen. You'll
because it
see the
gives us
video and
almost-
everything that we're
it'll
reacting
probably
to.
be
I
above
just got
that
this
number
up.
by
Go
the
to his
end of
channel.
this
His
term.
channel is link in the description.
300 judges, it's a record.
Looking at both your records.
300
why should voters
Dude.
elect you president?
It's
as opposed
crazy.
to
Why would you
President
leave
Trump?
128 open
Under this
seats?
president, we become weaker,
That's crazy.
sicker, poorer, more divided, and more violent.
Weaker, sicker, poorer, more. All that stuff is because of Corona, man.
Compared to the recession,
It-
I was asked to fix it. I did. We
Jesus.
left him a booming economy, and he caused the recession. With regard to being weaker,
Let's give
the
him,
fact
let's give
is
him the
that
floor.
I've gone head to head with Putin and made it clear to him we're not going to take any of his stuff. He's Putin's puppy. He still refuses
Aw,
to even
Putin's
say
puppy.
anything to Putin
PP.
about
I like
the bounty on the
That's,
American
that's that
soldiers.
meme that was going around with both of them topless on the
By
horses.
the way,
Mr.
my
President,
son-
yeah.
They're all over social media,
Your
man.
campaign agreed that both sides would get 2-minute answers uninterrupted. Well, your side agreed to it.
Hey, be
And
sure to subscribe.
Why
I
don't
see you
observe
guys.
what your campaign agreed to as a ground rule, okay, sir?
He never keeps his word. Can you
No,
add
No,
back
no,
He's
I'm
a
not asking.
person
That was a
that's
rhetorical question.
Can you
Go
add
ahead,
back
sir.
30 seconds?
Yeah, yes, you may have.
All right.
Go ahead.
So, thirdly, we're poor. The billionaires have gotten much more wealthy by a tune of over $300 to $400 billion more just since COVID. You in the home, you got less. You're in more trouble than you were before. In terms of being
I'm
more
tired.
violent, when we were in office, there were 15% less violence in America than there is today. He's president of the United States. It's on his watch. And with regard to more divided, the nation can't stay divided. We can't be this way. And speaking of my son, the way you talk about the military, the way you talk about them being losers and being and just being suckers. My son was in Iraq. He spent a year there. He got the Bronze Star. He got the Conspicuous Service Medal. He was not a
Conspicuous service
loser.
medal?
He was a
Officer
patriot,
Biden
and the
is
people
getting
left
wrecked.
behind
No
there
cap.
were heroes.
Really?
And I
Are you
resent
talking
like
about
hell.
Hunter? Are you talking about
I'm
Hunter?
talking about my son, Bo Biden. You're
I
talking
don't know.
about
I don't know Bo. I know Hunter.
Yeah,
Hunter
you know
Hunter got thrown out of the military. He was thrown out, dishonorably discharged
That's not true. It
for
wasn't dishonorable.
cocaine use, and he didn't have a job until you became vice president. Once you
None
became
of that
vice
is
president, he made a fortune in Ukraine, in China, in Moscow,
That is simply
and various
not
other places.
true.
He
My
made a
son-
fortune,
My son,
and he didn't have a
my
job.
son, like a lot of people you know at home, had a drug problem. He's overtaken it. He's fixed it. He's worked on it, and I'm proud of him.
But why was he
proud of
given
my
tens
son.
of millions?
Joe's
All
son
right,
had
he
a
wasn't given
drug
tens of
problem?
millions of dollars. That is totally
President
discredited.
You've already been
Totally discredited.
We've already been through this. I think the American people would rather hear about more substantial
So do I.
subjects. Well,
Yeah, more
as the
substantial
moderator, sir, I'm
subjects.
going to make
I
a
know, but when
judgment call
somebody
here.
gets $3.5 million
Okay, right.
from the
Let's
mayor
talk about
of Moscow,
Let's talk
That is
about
not
I think it's
true.
a terrible
That
thing.
report is totally
Why did he get it?
discredited.
I
Mitt
think,
Romney on that committee said it wasn't worth taxpayers'
Yeah.
money. That report. It was written for political reasons.
you know, I'd like to talk about climate change.
So would I.
Okay. The forest fires in the West are raging now. They have burned millions of acres. They have displaced hundreds of thousands of people. When state officials there blame the fires on climate change, Mr. President, you said, I don't think the science knows. Over your 4 years, you have pulled the U.S. out of the Paris Climate Accord. You have rolled back a number of Obama environmental records. What do you believe about the science of climate change, and what will you do in the next 4 years to confront it?
I want crystal clean water and air. I want beautiful clean air. We have now the lowest carbon.
What are you
If
going to
look
do?
at
What are you going to
our
do?
numbers right now, we are
No,
doing
let's do this.
phenomenally. But I haven't destroyed our businesses. Our businesses aren't put out of commission. If you look at the Paris Accord, it was a disaster from our standpoint. And people are actually very
right
happy
hand.
about what's going on because our businesses are doing well. As far as the fires are concerned, you need forest management in addition to everything else. The forest floors are loaded up with trees, dead trees that are years old, and they're like tinder, and leaves and everything else. You drop a cigarette in there, the whole forest burns down.
Oh, shoot.
You've got to have forest management.
What do you
You've got to have
believe?
cuts.
What do you believe
You don't
about the
want the
science
forest
of
burned
climate
down,
change?
people.
I believe
over
that
on
we have to
Libertarian
do everything we
Dave's
can to have immaculate
you want
air,
to see the
immaculate
green screen, you'll
water,
see
and
the
do whatever
video.
else we
So
can.
the
That's good.
link
You know,
is
we're
in the
planting
description.
a
Go ahead
billion
over
trees,
there so
the
you
billion
won't
tree
see the green
project.
screen. Go
And
ahead
it's
over
very
there.
Do you
exciting.
believe
A lot
that human pollution, greenhouse gas emissions contributes to the global warming of
I
this
think a
planet?
lot of things do, but I think to an extent, yes. I think to an extent, yes. But I also think we have to do better management of our forests every
They're
year.
not going to get
I
better
get
if
the
you keep
call.
doing that, dude.
California's
Keep
burning.
your fingers
California's
off of your
burning.
lips,
If that
dude.
was clean, if you had forest management, good forest management, you wouldn't be getting those calls. You know, in Europe, they live their forest cities. They're called forest cities. They maintain their forests. They manage their forests. I was with the head of a major country. It's a forest city. He said, sir, we have.
What are we talking about,
trees
man?
far more
No, we're
than
talking about
day,
burning
much
forests.
easier.
Did they talk
When
about
I was-
anything, man?
I don't know. I'm a
That
little
problem,
lost right
I
now
spoke
on the
with
subject.
governor
Of
about it.
all
I'm getting along very well with the governor. But I said, you know, at some point, you can't every year have hundreds of
What about
thousands
guns?
of acres of land
What
just
about
burned to
guns?
the ground.
There
That's
you go.
burning down because of a
Guns.
lack of
But
management.
sir, if you believe in the science of climate change,
You
why
got
have you
yours?
rolled back the Obama clean
I almost
power
started
plan,
to.
which
I
limited
started because of my
carbon
leg, and I was like,
emissions
you know what? I'm
of
Because
not
you
power
can't
walking.
run.
Yeah, so I started to break. So I was like, I'm gonna bring it today.
I got no
I-
wheels.
I almost-
I gotta go arm.
But you know, I put it on. And for some reason, the little weight of my hand, it was affecting my. I was like, oh, that little itch is hurting. I was like, nah, I'm just gonna get Uber. I'm gonna be walking. I don't need.
You would have at least double and triple the number of cars purchased. We have the old slugs out there that are 10, 12 years old. If you did that, the car would be safer. It would be much cheaper by
But in the case of
$3,500.
California, they've simply
No, but you
ignored
would take a lot of
your
cars
rollback.
off the market because people would be able to afford a car. Now, So, and by the way, we're going to see how that turns out. But a lot of people agree with
Let's
me.
get
Many
to
people.
another segment.
The
I don't know
car has
what they're
gotten
doing.
so expensive because they have computers
Climate
all over
change.
the place.
Oh, is that what we're
for an
talking
extra
about?
little bit?
Okay.
Gotcha.
Do people really care about climate change?
And I'm okay with electric
We
cars.
say
too.
it
I think
because
I'm
it
all
has
for
to be
electric cars.
said.
I've given big
You have to
incentives
care.
for electric cars. But what they've
Do you
done
think so?
in
You don't think
California
anybody
is
really
just
cares?
crazy.
Vice President Biden, I'd like you to respond to the president's climate change record, but I also want to ask you.
I guess she liked
about
whatever
a
Trump was
concern.
talking
You
about right there. She
proposed
gave him a
$2
heart and a thumbs
trillion
up.
in
Oh,
jobs. You talk about new limits, not abolishing, but new limits on fracking, ending the use of fossil fuels to generate electricity by 2035, and zero net emission of greenhouse gases by 2050. The president says a lot of these things would tank the economy and cost millions of jobs.
He's absolutely wrong, number one. Number two, if in fact, during our administration, the Recovery Act, I was.
Wouldn't it be amazing if he's just like,
able to bring
wow,
down the
really? You
cost
think it'll happen?
of renewable energy to cheaper than or as cheap as coal and gas and oil. Nobody's going to build another coal-fired plant in America. No one's going to build another oil-fired plant in America. They're going to move to renewable energy, number one. Number two, we're going to make sure that we are able to
You know,
take the
renewable energy
federal
is just
fleet
as bad for
turned
the
into a fleet
environment
that's
as
run on
coal
their
and gas.
electric vehicles. Making sure that we can do that. We're going to put 500,000
The maintenance
charging
on a
stations
windmill
and all the
actually
highways
uses
that
as
we're going to
much
be building in the future.
resources.
We're going to build an economy that
coal.
in fact is going to provide for the ability of us to take 4 million buildings and make sure that they in fact are weatherized in a way that in fact they'll emit significantly less gas and oil because the heat will not be going out. There's so many things that we can do now to create thousands and thousands of jobs. We can get to net zero in terms of energy production by 2035. Not only not costing people jobs, creating
Net
jobs.
zero.
Creating millions of
On
good
energy
paying
production.
jobs, not $15 an hour, but prevailing wage by having a new infrastructure that in fact is green. And the first thing I will do, I will rejoin the Paris Accord. I will join the Paris Accord because with us out of it, look what's happening. It's all falling apart. And talk about someone who has no relationship with foreign policy. Brazil.
Hey, Jeff, they ain't gonna do nothing. They neither one of them said anything about doing anything.
Carbon is absorbed in that rainforest.
Both of them just gonna give more money to police departments and stuff.
Instead of doing
None of them talked about qualified immunity. None of them talked about ending no knock warrants. None of them talked about the police unions. None of them talked about civil asset forfeiture. None of them talked about ending the war on drugs. None of that was talked about, but you see this one over here? She talks about it a
How
lot.
about the argument that President Trump basically
Joe
said
Jorgensen,
that
she
you have to balance
talks about it a lot.
environmental interests and economic interests, and he's drawn his line.
This was in response to Jeff's comment
For
here.
example, make sure that he wants to make sure that methane's not a problem. You can now emit more methane without it being a problem. Methane. This is a guy who says that you don't have to have mileage standards for automobiles that exist now.
Alberta oil sands produce vanadium, a mineral you can make batteries out of.
He's talking about the Green New Deal, and it's
Alberta
not 2
oil
billion
sands.
or
What is
20
Alberta
billion,
oil
as you said.
sands?
It's $100 trillion.
I'm talking about
Where they want to rip down
Go for a
buildings
minute, and then you can go.
and rebuild the building.
No,
It's the
that is
dumbest,
not-
most
that
ridiculous,
is not-
where airplanes are out of business,
That's
where two-car systems are out, where they
Not
want to
true.
take out the cows too.
Not
That's not
true.
true either, right?
not
This is
true.
a 100
Simply,
trillion.
look,
That's more money than our
It is true,
country
though.
could
The
make
beef industry
in
is
100
huge,
years. It will
huge
not.
But the
All right, let me-
damage
let
to
me-
our
let me
climate.
explain this,
Mm.
Because I actually, wait a minute.
The thing is
I
that there is no
actually
doubt
have
that
studied your
there's
plan.
climate changes
And it
happening. It's been
includes
happening since the
upgrading 4
beginning
million
of the
buildings,
universe,
weatherizing
right?
2 million
You know,
homes over
The
4
question
years,
is how
building
much
1.5
of
million
that climate
energy
change is
efficient
due to
homes.
humans,
So the
due
question
to
becomes, the
our
president is saying,
pollution
I
and
think
stuff.
some
That's the
people
question.
support
And some
the
say it's
president
like
would say
3% or
that
4%. Some
like
say
it's
it's as
gonna
high
cost
as
a lot of money and it hurts
40%
the
or something like
what it's
that.
going to do is going to
Huh.
create
Yeah.
thousands and millions of jobs, good paying jobs.
But let him finish, sir.
He doesn't know how to do that.
Is that what that pipeline running all the way through the country is for?
Millions of good paying jobs and these tax incentives for people to weatherize, which he wants to get rid of. It's going to make the economy much safer. Look how much we're paying now to deal with the hurricanes. By the way, he has an answer for hurricanes. He said maybe we should drop a nuclear weapon on them. They may.
I never said that.
That's what he did say.
You made it up.
And here's the deal.
You make up.
We're going to be in a position where we
Joe
can
bringing out the
create
memes, though.
hard,
He is.
hard,
He's
good
going
jobs
heavy.
like making
He's
sure
bringing
the
out the
environment is clean and we all are in better
Put that one
shape.
out there
We
again.
spend billions of dollars now, billions of dollars on floods, hurricanes, rising seas. We're in real trouble. Look what's happening just in the Midwest with these storms that come through and wipe out entire sections and counties in Iowa. They didn't happen before. They're because of global warming. We make up 15% of the world's problem. We, in
Okay,
fact,
15%. So
but
I
the
guess
rest of
that's
it,
the
we gotta
high
get them to come
number
along.
at
That's why we have to
15%.
get
The
them
low
back
number is like
into-
3%.
Back into the Paris Accord.
All right, gentlemen,
Wait a
we,
minute, Chris. So why
The
did
Paris
we do
Accord
it
was
for
worthless,
7
man.
years?
All it did was
Why
cost
did
us
we
billions
get
of dollars. And that's a
China
fact. I read
sends
it.
up real dirt into the
It just
Russia
put us on the
does,
hook for
India does,
millions and billions of
we're
dollars.
supposed to be
Meanwhile,
better.
the worst polluters don't have to fix anything. The worst polluters are the U.S. military and China.
My plan.
That's
And the Paris Accord did nothing about that.
That's not my plan.
Like of the pollution in the world, China, India, and the U.S., particularly just the military in the U.S., like those three are like responsible for like 80% of human pollution.
Oh, shoot. He called him a stupid bastard.
Stupid bastards.
Not
sir, stop.
I would never
I
say
would
that.
play it.
Stop.
Play it.
Go ahead.
You're
Mr.
on
Vice
tape.
President answered his final question.
The final question is, I can't remember which of all his rants.
I'm having a little trouble myself, but and about the economy and about this question of what it's going to cost.
The economy.
I mean, the Green New Deal and the idea of what your environmental changes will do.
The Green New Deal will pay for itself as we move forward. We're not going to build plants that, in fact, are great polluting plants.
Do you
We're going to
support
build
the Green New Deal?
Wow, didn't I think?
No, I don't support the Green New Deal.
I think Stalin
that's
said
a
that,
good
and I
statement.
think Hitler
I
said
support the
that
It's
too.
the radical left.
I support the Biden plan that I put forward.
Okay.
The Biden plan, which is different than what he calls the radical Green New Deal.
All right, gentlemen, final segment, election integrity. As we meet tonight, millions of Americans are receiving mail-in ballots or going to vote early.
Stupid, man. Really? Mail-in ballots? That's what we're going to talk about?
Election.
And what
We're not talking about China and India about to go to war with each other, two nuclear powers. We're not talking about that.
Election day, but also
I'm
how
gonna
many
end
ballots,
my stream,
mail-in ballots
go hit
after
over
election
for the next
day.
4. You
What
have
are
to
you
go hit over.
prepared
I'm
to
over
do to
on
reassure the
Libertarian
American people that
Dave's
the next president
channel. Hey,
will be
if
the
you're showing
legitimate
over on Libertarian
winner
Dave's
of
channel
this
right
election?
now.
In this final
The
segment,
link is in the
Mr. Vice President, you go
description.
first.
The
Prepared to
green
let
screen,
people
you won't
vote.
see that.
You
You'll
go
see
to
the video that we're
iwillvote.com.
reacting to. Go hit over.
Decide
I'm
how
gonna
they're going to
end. I
vote,
thank
when
you
they're going to
guys
vote, and
for
what means by which
stopping
they're going to
through.
vote.
But I'm
His
still
own
on
Homeland
Libertarian
Security
Dave's.
Director,
Hit
as well as
link in
the FBI
description.
Director, says there
As
is
always,
no
I'm
evidence
just
at
gonna
all
say
that mail-in ballots
KIP, keep it
are a
positive.
source
Thanks
of
for coming
of
through.
being
I'll see you guys.
manipulated and cheating. They said that. The fact is that there are going to be millions of people because of COVID that are going to be voting by mail-in ballots, like he does, by the way. He sits behind the Resolute desk and sends his ballot to Florida, number one. Number two, we're going to make sure that those people who want to vote in person are able to vote because enough poll watchers are there to make sure they can socially distance. The polls are open on time, and the polls
You're going to
stay
put
open
more
until the
people
votes are
there
counted. And this is all
to make sure
about
they can
trying to
distance
dissuade
themselves more.
people from voting because he's
More
trying
people.
to scare people into thinking that it's not going to be legitimate. Show up and vote. You will determine the outcome of this election. Vote, vote, vote. If you're able to vote early in your state, vote early. If you're able to vote in person,
Well, I'm voting
vote in
early.
person. Vote whatever way is the best way for you, because he cannot stop you from being able to determine the outcome of this election. And in terms of whether or not, when the votes are counted and they're all counted, that will be accepted. If I win, that will be accepted. If I lose, that'll be accepted. But by the way, if in fact he says he's not sure what he's going to accept, well, let me tell you something. It doesn't matter, because if we get the votes, it's going to be all over. He's going to go. He can't stay in power. It won't happen. It won't happen. So vote. Just make sure you understand you have it in your control to determine what this country is going to look like the next 4 years. Is it going to change, or you get 4 more years of these lies?
Mr. President,
Oh.
2 minutes.
So when I listened to Joe talking about a transition, there's been no transition from when I won. I won that election. And if you look at Crooked Hillary Clinton, if you look at
I thought it
all of
was
the different
Mussolini.
people.
Could be
there
some
was
dictator
much
somewhere.
hesitation because they came after me trying to do a coup. They came after me spying on my campaign. They started from the day I won and even before I won. From the day I came down the escalator.
That
with our
Obama
First Lady,
gate.
they were a disaster. They were a disgrace to our country. And we've caught them. We've caught them all. We've got it all on tape. We've caught them all. And by the way, you gave the idea for the Logan Act against General Flynn. You better take a look at that because we caught you in a sense. And President Obama was sitting in the office. He knew about it too.
Man,
So
we
don't
should have
tell
done
me about a
Obama
free
clip. I
transition.
told you that
As far as the
Obama
ballots
gate.
are concerned, it's a disaster. A solicited ballot, okay, solicited is okay. You're soliciting, you're asking, they send it back, you send it back. I did that. If you have an unsolicited, they're sending millions of ballots all over the country. There's fraud. They found them in creeks. They found some with the name Trump, just happened to have the name Trump just the other day in a waste paper basket. They're being sent all over the place. They sent 2 in a Democrat area. They sent out 1,000 ballots. Everybody got 2 ballots. This is going to be a fraud like you've never seen. The other thing, it's nice on November 3rd, you're watching and you see who won the election. And I think we're going to do well because people are really happy with the job we've done. But you know what? We won't know. We might not know for months because these ballots are going to be all over. Take a look at what happened in Manhattan. Take a look at what happened in New Jersey. Take a look at what happened in Virginia and other places. They're not losing 2%, 1%, which, by the way, is too much. An election can be won or lost with that. They're losing 30 and 40%. It's a fraud and it's a shame. And can you imagine where they say you have to have your ballot in by November 10th? November 10th. That means that's 7 days after the election, in theory, should have been announced.
Okay.
We have major states with that.
Sir,
All run by
2 minutes
Democrats.
is 2 minutes.
All run by
You're-
Democrats. It's
President
a,
Trump,
it's a rigged
You're
election.
give him
going
more
to
time?
be able to continue. You have been charging for months that mail-in balloting is going to be a disaster. You say it's rigged, that it's going to lead to fraud. But in 2018, the last midterm election, 31 million people voted mail-in voting.
I should. I'm
That
the
was
one that took.
a quarter, more than a quarter
I'm
of
the
all
one
the
that
voters
took
that year cast
6
their ballots by
Tylenol
mail.
before
Now
I came
that millions of mail-in
Don't make you look
ballots
sleepy.
have gone out,
Oh, Tylenol P.
what are you going to do about
You
it?
did take that.
And are you
That's
counting
sick.
on the Supreme
Yeah,
Court,
could you do that for
including
me?
a Justice Barrett,
PM.
to settle any dispute?
Yeah,
No,
I think
but
I'm counting on them to look at the
Tylenol
ballots,
PM, they
definitely.
tend
I don't
to-
think, well, I hope we don't
They
need
tend
them
to work better
in terms
for
of the
us.
election
You did right
itself.
home. Did you
But
walk
for the
here?
ballots, I think so.
I got moved.
Because what's happening is incredible. I
There's
just
no
heard- I
way
read
I'm
today
walking.
where at
There's
least
no-
1% of the ballots for 2016 were invalidated. They take them, we don't like them, we don't like them.
But what are
They
you
throw
going to
them
do
out
about it?
left
There
and
are
right.
millions of ballots going out
What
right
you
now.
do
What
is
are
you
gonna
go and vote. You do a solicited ballot,
No, no,
and that's
I'm
okay,
not trying to
or you go and
I'm
vote.
asking you about the fact that millions of people
You go
have
and vote.
received.
You go and
No,
vote,
but what I'm
like they
saying is-
used to.
This is not what a debate is
A
for.
solicited ballot, where you're sending it in, they're sending it back, and you're sending, they have.
This
mailmen
is
with
these are
lots of-
these are
You see what's going
punchlines
Take a look at
on
these
a on a
mailmen selling the
on
ballot.
media. You know what I
They're being
mean?
sold. They're being
This is
dumped everywhere.
stupid, man.
This
This is a
is
freaking
not-
sham.
This ain't gonna
This
help
is
you
not-
determine who you want to
This
vote
is
for.
not going to end well.
Okay.
This is not going
Vice
to
President
end well.
Biden,
5
in
states
fact,
had
go ahead, sir.
mail-in ballots for the last
So you go
decade or
run.
more. 5,
Fine.
including 2 Republican states.
He ain't even
And
gonna
you don't
vote.
have to solicit the ballot. It's sent to you. It's sent to your home. What we're saying is, they're saying is that it has to be a postmark by the time, by election day. If it doesn't get in until the 7th, 8th, 9th, it still should be counted. He's just afraid of counting the votes. because
You're
of the
wrong.
outcome.
You're wrong.
No, I want to continue with you on
I
this,
love that.
Vice President Biden.
Chris, he's so wrong when he makes
In
a
fact,
statement
no,
like that.
excuse me. Vice President Biden, the biggest problem, in fact.
He's
over
absolutely
the
not
years,
afraid of the
mail-in
votes.
voting
He is
has not
afraid
been
that you guys are
flawed
going to cheat.
historically. It
He's
is
not
true
afraid.
that
No, his
thousands
ego is
of
way
hundreds
too
of
big
thousands of
to be
ballots
afraid
have
he's
gone
going to
out
lose.
because they
Legitimately.
had not been properly filled
He-
out.
there's
or
no
there
way
was
Trump believes he's going to
irregularity
lose legitimately.
within the deadline. So the question
That's why
I
he's
have
so
is, are
adamantly
you
about
concerned
stopping every
that
chance
the
they have
Supreme
of
Court
cheating.
with a Justice Barrett will settle any dispute?
I'm concerned that any court would settle this because here's the deal. When you file, when you get a ballot and you fill it out, you're supposed to have an affidavit. If you didn't know, you have someone say that this is me. You should be able to, if in fact you can verify that's you before the ballot is thrown out, that's sufficient to be able to count the ballot because someone made a mistake and not dotting the correct I. who they
Oh,
voted
wow.
for, testify,
Every mail-in
say
has
who
to
they
have
voted for,
you have to.
say it's you. That is totally legitimate.
All right.
Excuse me,
No, no, no.
when you
I
have
have a final-
80 million ballots,
Gentlemen, I have a final
Senate
question.
and swamping the system, you know it can't be done. You know it can't, and already
All right,
there's been
so now-
fraud.
Mail
deception,
service
Wait a
delivers
minute, gentlemen, in the
185
final
billion
question
gifts
is-
a mail a
80
day.
In
million
8
ballots.
states, we can keep talking. In 8 states, election workers are prohibited currently by law, 8 states, from even beginning to process ballots, even take them out of the envelopes and
Yes.
flatten them until election day. That means that it's likely, because there's going to be a huge increase in mail-in balloting, that we are not going to know on election night who the winner is, that it could be days, it could be weeks,
Could be months.
until we find out who the new president is. So first for you, sir, finally for the vice president, I hope neither of you will interrupt the other. Will you urge your supporters to stay calm during this extended period, not to engage in any civil
question
Are
is
they
unrest?
having any serious questions about anything?
Victory until the election has
So the
been
question
independently
is-
certified. President Trump, you
I'm
go
urging
first.
my supporters to go into the polls and watch very carefully, because that's what has to happen. I am urging them to do it. As you know, today there was a big problem. In Philadelphia, they went in to watch. They're called poll watchers, a very safe, very nice thing. They were thrown out. They weren't allowed to watch. You know why? Because bad things happen in Philadelphia, bad things. And I am urging my people. I hope it's going to be a fair election. If it's a fair
You're urging
election,
them what?
I am 100% on board. But if I see tens of thousands of ballots being manipulated,
Okay.
I can't go along with that. And I'll
And
tell
what
you what,
does that
from
mean?
a common
Alone?
sense,
Does that mean
I'll
you're
tell
going to
you what
tell your
it means.
people to take to the
It means you have a
Supreme Court?
Right.
fraudulent election. You're
And what
sending
are you
out
gonna do?
80
What are you
million
gonna
ballots.
do
about that?
They're not equipped to, these people aren't equipped to handle it, number one. Number two,
Okay.
they cheat. They cheat. Hey, they found ballots in a waste paper basket 3 days ago, and they all had the name
All right.
military ballots. They were military. They all had the name Trump on them.
Vice President Biden, final question for you. Will
Is
you
that
urge
true?
your supporters to stay calm while the vote is counted, and will you pledge not to declare victory until the election is independently certified?
Yes, here's the deal. They count the ballots, as you pointed out. Some of these ballots in some states can't even be opened until election day. And if there's thousands of ballots, it's going to take time to do it. And by the way, our military, they've been voting by ballots since the end of the Civil War in effect. And that's what's going to happen. Why is it for them somehow not fraudulent?
We have
It's
to
the same
solicit our
process.
ballots.
It's honest. No
We have
one
to
has
solicit our
established at
ballots,
all
though.
That there is
You have to ask for a
fraud
ballot.
related to
That's what Trump is
mail-in
saying.
ballots.
Absentee
somehow
ballots and stuff,
fraudulent
that if
process.
people
So I
want to mail in
understand.
ballots, then they
Take a look at
solicit it, they
Carolina.
request it.
I-
They're just talking about throwing ballots out there.
They have no idea
He's gonna
what
drop them from a helicopter.
He has no idea what he's talking about. Here's the deal. The fact is, I will accept it, and he will too. You know why? Because once the winner is declared, after all the ballots are counted, all the votes are counted, that'll be the end of it. That'll be the end of it. And if it's me, in
What
fact,
questions
fine.
do we
If
want
it's
to
not
see?
me, I'll support the outcome. And I'll be a president, not just for the Democrats. I'll be a president for Democrats and Republicans. And this guy,
I want to
in
see
fact,
honest
Okay,
ballot count.
gentlemen, you say that's the end of it? This is the
I
end
wanna
of this
see an
debate?
honest ballot count.
We're
And I
going to
think
leave
he
it
does
there.
too.
To be continued as in more debates as we go on. President Trump, Vice President Biden, it's been an interesting hour and a half. I want to thank you both for participating in the first of 3 debates that you have agreed to engage in. We want to thank Case Western Reserve University and the Cleveland Clinic for hosting this event. The next debate, sponsored by the Commission on Presidential Debates,
The rigged
1
debates,
week
fake
from tomorrow,
debates, fake
October 7th
debates.
at the University of
Hashtag fake
Utah
debates.
in Salt Lake City. The 2 vice presidential nominees, Vice President Mike Pence and Senator Kamala Harris, will debate at 9 p.m. Eastern that night. We hope you
No
watch.
Spike Cohen, huh?
Until then, thank you and good night.
They got to leave the woman and the Jew got to be left out.
Well,
Yeah, Spike Cohen's Jew.
well, I guess the other question is.
Are they gonna go shake hands after?
Oh shoot, yeah.
Let's see if we can get some handshaking.
The family comes up and wave.
She's like close to 60, isn't she?
She's up there.
She's looking pretty good. Oh.
That's on.
She got a mask on. I got to put mine on.
That's
We're
on.
not going to shake hands, huh?
No. Trump's going out.
Oh, yeah, we don't shake hands no more. It's
Oh, yeah, it's
Corona.
COVID. We love you, Trump. Well, I guess the question to ask you is, after watching that, did that help you get closer to
Hashtag fake debates or debate mayhem? That's
help
another
you learning the candidate
one. On Twitter.
Did you learn the candidate? Did you feel like, oh, I know I'm gonna vote for him?
Absolutely nothing.
Guys, did that help you learn more about the candidate? This debate, who you're gonna vote for now? Did that help sway you? Because that's what debates are here for. You get to learn your candidate and whatnot. When they were talking,
I like Ghostly One's question here. He said he's asking us what questions did we hope that did we want to see in the debates. I wanted a debate with some substance. That's
Texas
all.
homeowners.
Sorry.
All the electric companies are raising.
All the electric companies. We only have one. We don't have a choice. We have a monopoly here. Don't get me started on that either. So pretty much what I wanted to see is not really the questions I would have liked to have talked about the debt, since we had the largest deficit in American history this year due to the massive bailouts and CARES Act and all this stuff. So the national debt, what's happening with that? How bad can it get? What can happen if we don't fix it? Where we could cut spending. I would like to have seen something about the war on drugs, or legalization of marijuana. I would have liked to have seen questions about, real honest dialogue about criminal justice reform and fixing the racial injustice that's happening in the country. Real, like let's talk about ending qualified immunity, or let's talk about civil asset forfeiture, or let's talk about police unions. Well, we can't talk about those because they're funding their campaigns. Stuff like that. Questions about bringing the troops home. When are we going to stop these wars that are costing us lives? Yeah. All this. The serious questions.
Yeah.
Coronavirus is not a serious question. It's a virus, and it's not Trump's virus. Trump's not responsible for people getting sick and dying. His response to the coronavirus is not why people are getting sick and dying. Yeah. It's because it's a virus. That's why people are getting sick and dying. So those are the things that I was interested in. Yes, it was.
Right. And that's, and I was just more of, I was looking forward, I guess, your latter part, what you were saying. I wanted to see what each side is really saying with regards to the criminal justice. What's going on now? I mean, we're moving into, a lot of people are a lot more aware of, for some reason, 2020 has been the year of, racial and bringing up these issues. And I wanted to kind of see, because we don't hear from the candidates. We hear from the parties, we hear from the police departments, but we don't hear directly from Joe Biden or Donald Trump, how they feel about certain situations. And because, how they feel and what they think, it's really going to draw out kind of what happened. So I wanted for the first time to hear, okay, what are your thoughts on this Black Lives Matter? What is your thoughts on, some of these and how we can change it? I mean, because everything that we get on TV and everything that we get out there is media, it's writers, it's whatnot. But it would have been good to kind of hear from the candidate. Like, same thing I would want to hear from Joe Jorgensen's mouth. I mean, more than the party or whatnot or the media. So, I mean,
she would have called them out on it.
It goes a long way.
You saw my reaction to the things that they were saying. How I was she would have said that, but with 10 times more intelligent and way more way calmer than I said it.
If the candidate is passionate about something, then you would see that in the party. You would see that in America. If what Trump is passionate about, he talked about, and we see it. We see it here. What Joe Biden is passionate about, they talk about it. And so I wanted to see from their face, their body language, what they're saying. And I want to know, hey, is they're actually passionate about, this movement, about creating change for the minority. So you kind of hearing it. So what was one of the more passionate things that Trump really spoke on and hit on? I mean, when it came to Joe Biden in this he talked a lot about go ahead.
No. Ghostly one got it for me.
Okay.
Comments. So.
No. So when I guess when it came to Joe Biden, I think back at this debate, the biggest thing that he showed a lot of passion about, and he got a lot rage, and even told Trump to shut up because he really wanted to speak about that. When he started talking about the corona response and what he would have done, and how the individual states would have got more money. They needed money for the states, and he said that out. So
there's no cure. There's no vaccine.
So
to do what?
So
what would more money do?
And that's what he said. So he was real passionate about that. And and he
throw money at it. That's the Democrats' answer. Steal your money, and then throw it somewhere else, and that'll fix the problem.
Where did the most passion?
Corona Band-Aids made out of $100 bills.
Yeah. Where did the most passion in this debate comes from with Trump? Well, definitely when we start talking about ballots and votes. I mean, he went in. I mean, he had a lot of. So
he thinks he's going to get robbed. Yeah.
So where their passion is where they're going to work towards. So I just want to see if there was this. How they were talking, what they were talking about, because you can gain a lot, but unfortunately, when we did get into those issues and whatnot, it was just they never talked about the stance. They never talked about their stance. They never talked about the issue or what they would do. They talked about each other and what each other didn't do.
That's all they did was talk about each other and what each other didn't.
It didn't give me anything. It didn't give me what I wanted. And I was actually paying attention during that part because
you got no answers about how we're going to move
forward too. So that's nothing on the.
No. And it did a lot of talking over each other. So I mean, you keep on saying what else.
It was a
I don't keep talking over you.
And he gave him a didn't he? And Joe was and Joe said, "Shut up, man!" At one point, so it was very funny. It was pretty.
So let me go through some comments real quick. The first one is Kevin said Antifa was brought up by Trump. Biden totally did not want nothing to do with that conversation. And Trump got asked to denounce white supremacy, flat out deflected it completely. That's because those actually
that was a big thing.
But no. It's because those topics speak directly to a portion of their base of voters, whether they're white supremacists or far left-wing Antifa people or not. It speaks to a portion of their voting population. So that's why they would avoid that. I'm surprised that the moderator himself went straight after Trump with the white supremacy question, because these questions are agreed upon by both candidates.
I will say
this debate is rigged. It literally is rigged. So it's just funny that Trump agreed to have that question asked of him, and he still didn't answer it. He still deflected it. So it was like he intentionally deflected that question on purpose. That's what's scary about what Trump did. The Antifa question, I think Trump hit Biden up about Antifa. So that's kind of unscripted. But everything the moderator does is pretty scripted by the Democrats and the Republicans. They write the script for these debates. So that's what's interesting about that.
That's a big
this one
Before
here.
we get on to that next one, I just want to say something about that. I want to put a little input on that. That was there's no way you can going back through that clip, I don't see how you can fight on Trump's side with that. He deflected that and deflected 3 times. It was wrong, and I kept saying, "Yeah, I know." Even you, I guess
I was going to blow it up if he was going to say it. I was going to do that.
It was weird. It was weird in that he wouldn't announce it, because I'm not one of the ones that run around and say, Trump is a racist and whatnot. I'm not one of the ones, but I was looking for him to listen. Now, I'm not one of the ones that believe, Trump is, I'm not. That's not me. I don't even believe. I believe.
I'm with you on that one. I was expecting it too.
But the fact that he wouldn't just did that surprised me.
I'm kind of disappointed. I think that's going to be a big thing come up tomorrow.
It has to be. That surprised me. Trust me, I'm not one of the ones.
That and all the petty bickering between them.
I think shut up, Joe. And go on.
So, Trump's inaction and downplaying is the reason why this country is going through problems concerning COVID-19. I would just there's nothing that he could do that would have reduced the numbers or reduced those that died. There's nothing that you're going to have a hard time convincing me that anything any government could do. That anything any government could do. That for one, now go through your next Trump was that Canada reacted faster than it had been. Well, for one, Canada's healthier than us because they have healthier lifestyles, not because their medical system's better either. If you have your medical system, the better your medical system definitely does not correspond to better health. As a matter of fact, if you have a worse medical system, you tend to be healthier because you don't want to go to the doctor. You know what I mean? So the worse your medical system is, you tend to be healthier. In the United States, we're the fast food country. You know what I mean? That's all it is. So the fact that almost every single person in the United States that dies of COVID is overweight, obese, or elderly. It kind of explains a lot. You know what I mean? Yeah. If you look at Sweden, they didn't react at all, and they got better numbers than anybody else because, well, not anybody else. There's some countries that better, but they have they didn't do anything. But they have a very healthy population, very young population too in Sweden. So, you just look at it that way. There's absolutely nothing the government could have done about this pandemic. In 1968, we had a flu pandemic in 1968. Nobody did nothing. There was no shutdown. 100,000 people died. The flu's still around, and it still kills people. They had Woodstock during the pandemic, the biggest concert in American history in New York during the pandemic. There's absolutely nothing that could have been done any differently by the government. If anything, the government killed more people by reacting at all. Shutting down the economy, pushed people into depression. Now they're out of a job. A lot of people identify their lives are identified by their work.
Shut things down. They could have not shut it down.
Yeah. Suicide rates are up. Domestic violence rates are up. Alcohol sales went up 55%. So if anything, the government's reaction only made things worse. Let's see. What more could Trump have done for Corona? Okay, that's what I just said. It's about how it's presented. Trump downplayed that was his mistake. Yeah. The COVID thing, Ron Paul said that COVID-19 is 100% real, but the government's response to it is 100% political. Ask yourself this: how different do you think the reaction would have been to COVID-19 had this not been an election year? And how coincidental that it is.
It's true.
How crazy is it, right?
That's true. Right on time for both parties.
I don't know about Event 201, but I'm sure it's some conspiracy theory. You familiar with it?
Not familiar.
And you know the conspiracy theory.
So that's different. So I'm look on that.
Let's see.
Yeah. Oh boy. I'll waste up an hour. They did there.
Canada reacted 2 months earlier than America. They shut things down 1 month and a half earlier. Your citizens mostly adhered to the mandates. America, not so much. Like I said, what difference does it make? For one, coronavirus was around since at least September, right? Or August, they suspect. China said November, so we might as well figure probably a year before that.
Yeah.
So coronavirus has been around. And if you look at the number, I did a whole video about this way back when. If you look at the number, there was actually a spike in flu deaths in, I think, October, November. Mm-hmm. November, December, there was a spike in flu deaths. It was an unusually high flu season, deadly flu season. And I remember him saying that too. And come to find out, Corona has been around at least since November. They had this spike and nobody was doing nothing. And the numbers had been dropping even before March when we started. We had the spike in November and numbers were getting better. Less people were getting sick and dying of flu and pneumonia is what they called it before they knew it was COVID-19.
Yep.
Less people were dying of flu and pneumonia leading into January, February, March. And then, we got COVID-19. Now we start testing for that. And now everything is COVID-19. It's a bunch of crap. We don't tolerate the antagonism between people who are wearing a mask or not. I will not stand by and let someone talk down to you about it. Oh, that's cool. Trump is supposed to be the leader of this country, show initiative, keep America safe, and steady downplay and let the staff and Congress cater to elitists and their money-grubbing ways. Every government leader, Democrats and Republicans, cater to the elitists. They're the ones who pay their campaigns. Obama catered to the health insurance industry massively because he made them billions of dollars.
That's right.
With Obamacare, forcing everybody to buy health insurance. What do you think who do you think funded Obama's campaign when he was in the primaries against Hillary, and then whenever he won the presidency from Bush? Who do you think funded his campaign? The HMOs, health insurance industry. Millions and millions of dollars into his campaign.
Very true.
Yeah, so, I mean, it all depends, you know. They all cater to elitists. So Trump should have done nothing. He should have not. Downplaying it is a different story. Now, maybe he shouldn't have downplayed it. Maybe he should have said, hey, there's a pandemic out there. Y'all might want to wash your hands some more. If you're elderly or you're immune compromised, you might want to stay home. You know, encouraging businesses to give some free sick leave to people to stay home until we find out what this thing's all about. That might have been good. But to force by law, by the aggression of the governments of guns, or the guns of government, forcing people to stay home, forcing them out of their jobs, forcing businesses basically at gunpoint, because if you didn't close, they're going to show up with guns and make you close. So forcing businesses at gunpoint to close, that's the wrong thing to do. That's not how you govern a country. That's how you oppress a people.
That was good.
It's not how you govern a country. That's how you oppress a people.
It's tweetable.
Tweetable.
I do want to say that
Biden.
I was very surprised how he was pretty mutual with the debate. He ran Chris Wallace. Guy did good. Far as I thought they would be like heavenly on Trump and just letting them go at Biden and soft speeding, but no, he did good. I was impressed at the fairness of the moderator there. CDC.
Yeah, I thought so. But as far as substance goes, man, there was no substance. It was exactly. I don't know why I got so upset. I mean, I apologize. I don't know why. I knew exactly what I was going to get when I knew exactly what I was going to get when I came into this. Absolutely nothing. The same bickering and pandering that we see on social media, on commercials, and everywhere else in media, we just get it live in a debate. Absolutely no substance whatsoever.
I'm so tired of hearing about the CDC. They're their own little branch of government. CDC has so much control nowadays. In 2020, they really this was their peak. This was CDC's peak.
I'm really, really interested to see how this whole thing, emergency powers thing plays out in the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
You know, I pray, and I do pray. I really do pray. But I mean, it's I pray that there are some very constitutionally minded justices up there that will take the chance on liberty, that will gamble on freedom, and stand firm on the Constitution and not declare that it's null and void in case of emergency. That has to be done. If anything good could come out of coronavirus and the 200,000 deaths that we've had in this country, if anything good that can come out of it, it's more than that, by the way, if you count the suicides and domestic violence deaths and stuff like that have happened, then the numbers are far higher than the 200,000. The numbers of deaths that have been caused directly because of government's interaction in our lives because of this emergency, you know, if anything does contribute to that, it could be a guarantee by the Supreme Court that this injustice that's been perpetrated against us all because of coronavirus never happens again. You know, if anything good can come from it. This is a bait, man.
You'll need to later
So
on.
did you learn anything?
No, that's what I was going to say in closing. You'll need to later on down the line do an episode on. I guess when this all's done, you have to do an episode on. We'll have to find a good debate and react to what a what a debate kind of.
A real quality debate.
Yeah, and give the people. Yeah.
Oh, Obama.
A lot more important questions we're going to be asked.
Appreciate it, Ghostly man. Obama on tape predicting COVID a little too accurate. Yeah. That's possible.
I've seen all that.
Man, there's all kinds. You don't know what's going on back there. But.
Well,
Nothing, man.
That is
how much better would have it been if Joe Jorgensen had been on the stage? And those of you that are still with us, man, get on Twitter, debate mayhem, fake debates, let her speak. Just blast Twitter with us, man. All us libertarians are blasting Twitter with let her debate, man. Blast CNN, blast the Commission on Presidential Debates. I think they're at debates on Twitter. Just keep blasting social media. Like, even if you're not a libertarian, man, just get her on stage. Can you imagine how much better this debate would have been if you had a PhD in industrial psychology and a lecturer at Clemson University sitting on the stage with these two clowns? That's what Biden kept calling Trump a clown. Oh, you both are clowns. You know what I mean? Can you imagine? She would have forced them to have to deal with the issues and talk real stuff.
I agree with that. Oh, boy. Hungry.
This was Fox, yeah. This is Chris Wallace is from Fox News. It's probably the only reason Trump even agreed to do it was his buddies were hosting it.
Yeah, that's how surprised
Would have been nice.
They were on him so much. No.
Yeah, medical reform, police reform, tax reform. Yeah, that's the question. I don't know how old you are. I don't even know how to say your name. JJ Svizzard. But the old days, man, the old debates, that's what they were about, man. It was always about tax reform and immigration reform and police reform and all this stuff. I mean, they didn't even talk about immigration, man.
No, I thought they were going to know that.
You know why? Because nobody likes Trump's answer and Biden don't have an answer for it.
So neither one of them agree.
He knows if he screams open borders, then everybody's going to run. It was a mudslinging, man.
They're bringing in rapists.
It is. It was a mudslinging, man. It was just straight up mudslinging.
Yep. That's it.
That's all I got to say, man. I mean, it's just it's sad, man. It's sad that we got such a quality candidate. Look at you guys. Posing together. Clip that out. But we got such a quality candidate that's available for us to hear, that has answers, that has comprehensive medical reform, that has comprehensive police reform, that has comprehensive tax reform, that has answers to all these questions, and it can articulate it to people, the same as our vice presidential candidate. Him too, man. These are two very articulate candidates that could talk about these issues and these problems.
Yeah. Are
the answers perfect? Is the libertarian perfect? Absolutely not. There's no perfect system of oppression. And that's what government's oppression. There's no perfect system of oppression. So that's what we're choosing as our oppressor. That's what you have to understand. So if you keep asking for bigger government, you're asking for a stronger oppressor.
Yeah, you're probably right, JJ, on that one. Bernie would have kind of run a little bit more.
This would have been better if Bernie was on the ticket instead of Biden.
He wouldn't be fighting.
Probably a little bit better.
Yeah, it would be better.
He would have traded insults with Trump better. That's all I could say about that. It would have just swapped insults better. Bernie is definitely a better insulter.
He is. He's on his feet.
He can get down and dirty, man.
Feisty, dude.
Yep.
It's funny.
He can bob and weave, man.
He
would already had some ammo loaded up, ready.
Yep.
But man, I can imagine the intellectual bombs that Joe Jorgensen would have dropped on Trump.
Right.
if he tried to insult her, because she already drops them. She drops them all the time. I mean, you just got to listen to her videos and stuff, and they're just like, they're like, you ever had like one of those really smart friends that would insult you and it would take you a second to realize it? You'd be like, you just insulted me. You know what I mean? You got me.
You got me. Oh, man.
It's a long one, man. It was a good one.
It was a good one.
Yeah.
It was good. We did.
Man.
We did this. We'll be back here October 7th for the next one.
We'll be back here on Saturday morning.
Saturday morning.
I'm ditching this setup though.
Are you?
I'm donating it. I'm gonna donate this.
You are.
This monitor and that computer. So I'm gonna bring the laptop over here. So I just be moving the laptop back and forth. So I got to get everything off of this computer onto that computer, wipe this thing out, and donate it to the orphanage.
That's good stuff. That's good stuff. Well, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I did. I am going to, I gotta take a Tylenol real quick. I got one in my bag. It's calling my name right now. So I messed up my.
Pulled the muscle.
I pulled it bad. I ripped that. When I did that little.
You can do
I
surgery,
felt it. I felt it. I felt it. I was like, oh wow. It was weird.
You gonna do surgery?
I started doing some stuff, but it's good. It's good. I just gotta But anyway, hey guys, if you're new, especially Evolvers, subscribe because this is where I'm at on Tuesday, and I don't have to keep on saying, "Hey, go there, make the video."
He's on here like, every Tuesday, and if he gets up on Saturday, he'll jump on StreamYard and
jump on StreamYard.
Go from his bed
and all that good stuff.
From his bed like this.
Yeah, I was. But as always, there, guys. KIP, keep it positive. That's it for me. I will see you all, and I am not having dinner or anything. I'm just going to.
This is I got the left. We didn't even talk about that. Oh man, you gotta jump on Saturday.
I will for sure. I ain't got nothing to do on Saturday.
Man, you all limping, man.
I am this bad. I'm telling you. I wasn't, but I was like,
I'll do it, Matt.
I knew you.
Well, if you would have StreamYard in, I could have worked with the StreamYard.
But I took because it was like 3. I said, when you start
the problem with StreamYard interviewing though is, we react to each other, we could talk over each other and give ourselves the space in between, so we keep getting heard. We both get, but with StreamYard, when I got you on StreamYard, I can't do that. I'll say some things, then you can say some things, and I say something, but we can't get that smooth transition back and forth like we get in person. You can't really do that in StreamYard. So, but I'll let you go. Get in there and get your Tylenol. Hey, what up? You going to bed, bud?
Yep.
Oh.
Good night.
Good night, buddy. Love you.
Love you too.
All right, so yeah, man, I'm gonna call it. Appreciate y'all coming in. I hope you enjoyed our analysis, play-by-play.
Good night, Dad.
Oh, good night, love you, buddy.
Bye.
Vote G Liberty. We need to make a new video, dude. I have an idea for one.
What?
This time we're gonna get the sound right. The sound was kind of messed up on the last one.
Like getting my new yellow belt?
Oh, yeah, you got yellow belt today. Karate.
I was orange first.
Yeah, now you're yellow. What's next?
Purple, then green.
Purple, then green.
Blue, red. Brown, then black.
Ooh.
And no pink. There's no pink.
Have a good night, Ghostly One. Appreciate you coming on, man. Appreciate all the comments and stuff too. Great thing. Hey, man, I'm gonna take the challenge, and my scripture today was coming into my heart. My scripture is Romans 13. Yes, right, Libertarian. I'm going straight to the heart of the argument. Romans 13. That's my scripture. Everybody likes to avoid it. I'm going head on with Romans 13. How can the libertarians be so anti-government and be a Christian? In the Christians, and in the Bible, it says Let every person be subject to the governing authorities, for there is no authority except from God, and those that exist have been instituted by God. Therefore, whoever resists the authorities resists what God has appointed, and those who resist will incur judgment. This is the scripture that comes up so often to Christian libertarians, that strikes fear in the hearts of all of them. So we must submit to authority. So I ask you, my Americans, my United States of America people, who is the authority in the United States of America? I will proclaim the authority. The authority as it has been the authority since the beginning of this country, since the founding of this country. The authority in this country has always been the Constitution of the United States of America. That is the authority. And I say to you that rulers, those who are placed.
Can I go to karate tomorrow?
No, we got church tomorrow, buddy. And we have to go early because I'm serving, so we have to go early for church tomorrow. Okay. Good night, dude. Thanks for coming.
Good night.
That was for Marcus. He's taking off, man. He's hurting. So yeah, it says to submit, to be subjects to the governing authorities, right? Well, the authority in the United States is the Constitution of the United States, and every one of our elected officials is sworn to support and defend the Constitution of the United States. The Constitution of the United States is the authority over the elected officials. That's the authority over the elected officials. So if anybody is in violation of Romans 13, it is the elected officials that are not protecting and defending the Constitution of the United States. Plain and simple. So that was my scripture for tonight. I mean, with Romans 13, we do a whole nother podcast on. So there's a lot of different ways to look at that scripture. And I personally is probably one of the few Christian libertarians that actually enjoys talking about Romans 13. So, but it's a great scripture. I know it's a debate. I don't think there was any, it would have been nice to wish that Trump and Biden would have found some common ground and were able to somehow unite this country. But I don't think the Republicans and Democrats have any interest whatsoever in joining and ending the division in this country, the political division in this country. I really don't think there's much racial division. I think it's just mostly just political division. And and I don't think they have any interest whatsoever. I mean, that's all they want to do is pander to whoever they need to pander to try to get reelected. They absolutely don't care. And I think it's a disservice to us all that we can't see a third choice on that stage. It's really saddens me. It really exhausts me, and it really discourages me as a libertarian. And I hope sometime in my lifetime that will change. And, with y'all's help, man, sharing the word, man, just get out there, voting libertarian and talking to your friends about it. Don't be afraid. Don't be, ashamed or scared to talk politics. I was in Camping World today talking politics with the guy. I tell he was obviously a Trump supporter, but, I'll come at you. I'm going to come at you and tell you that, here you are, you're so pro Second Amendment, but Donald Trump was the last one to pass a gun control law when he banned bump stocks. So, I mean, he's not Second Amendment if he infringes. So, but I'll have those conversations. But I have in a peaceful, loving way. You know what I mean? I don't come at people angrily or anything like that, because I'm still a firm believer in Martin Luther King's saying that the only way you can turn an enemy to a friend is through love. So with that, share love with everybody everywhere you go. There's no gain from hate. So just love one another, love your neighbor, share the good news of the gospel, share the good news of libertarianism everywhere you go. And I tell you, I shared something on Sunday. I share with you guys on my little, I don't know if you guys follow me on Facebook, but on Facebook, I share our church broadcast. And I said, God loves you, even if you don't love Him, and He's waiting. He's waiting to guide you. He's all you have to do is reach out your hand, and He's ready to guide you. So, like a good father. I can't even get my own quote. Like a good father, he's waiting for you to reach out His hand, and He'll guide the way. And it was like right after I posted that, I actually seen one of a man got up from his chair and started walking out of the sanctuary, and a little boy reached up, and his dad takes his hand. I was like, exactly what I said. But anyways, man, y'all have a good night. I love y'all. Thank you all for watching. God bless you. KIP. Keep it positive.